This is Nationwide 90 FM, owned and operated by Nationwide News Network. We broadcast from our studios at 6 Bradley Avenue, Kingston 10, Jamaica. Transmitting on the FM 90 band. 90.3 from Peters Rock in St. Andrew and Murphy Hill in St. Anne. Serving Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Anne, parts of Clarendon, St. Mary, and St. Thomas. 90.5 from Huntley in Manchester, transmitting to St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Manchester, Clarendon, rural St. Andrew, and parts of St. Thomas. And 90.7 from Coopers Hill in St. Andrew and Flower Hill in St. James, serving Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, sections of Trelawney, Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Mary, Portland, and St. Anne. Nationwide 90 FM also broadcasts on the World Wide Web on nationwideradiojm.com and on Flow on channel 916. Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media. You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6 o'clock. From the studios of Nationwide Radio, morning radio the right way. It's Nationwide This Morning.
A very good morning to you. I'm Tawna Thomas. Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning, Thursday, July 11, 2024. Convicted wife killer Omar Collymore is due to be sentenced today. Energy Minister says that JPS needs to fast-track its operations to restore power to St. Elizabeth. Residents of St. Anne and St. Mary will experience disruption to their water supply scheduled for the next 5 days. In regional news, the Bahamas confers the Order of National Hero to a former enslaved person. In international news, China rejects label of enabler of Russia's Ukraine war. In sports, Glenn Mills hails Elaine Thompson-Herah as a track ambassador. The details after the break.
Did you know that many of my schoolmates have an unhealthy diet, especially at school? And now 23% of them are overweight and or obese? And so one less sugary drink at my school may mean one friend less,
or 2 or 3,
at risk of cavities or diabetes. And if we're served less foods high in saturated fats, sugar and sodium, it may reduce our risk from obesity, heart disease and high blood pressure.
The solution is simple, right? Act now.
Let's get unhealthy foods and beverages out of our schools.
A message from the Heart Foundation of Jamaica and partners.
Catch the first news of the day, a comprehensive package of local, international, sports, and business news. The news at 6 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. Murder convict Omar Collymore and his 3 co-convicts are set to be sentenced today. Collymore was found guilty of murder and conspiracy for the 2018 killing of his wife, businesswoman Simone Campbell Collymore, and her taxi driver Winston Walters. The guilty verdict was handed down on May 15 this year in the Supreme Court. Simone and Mr. Walters were shot and killed on January 2, 2018, at the entrance to her apartment complex on Stanley Terrace in Red Hills, St. Andrew. Simone was shot 19 times, while Mr. Walters was shot 5 times. Omar faced 2 counts of murder and 1 count of conspiracy to murder, along with Michael Adams, Dwayne Pink, and Shaquilla Edwards. The trial into the double murder began on February 12 this year. 4 months later, a 7-member jury handed down the verdict. Collymore, along with Pink and Adams, were each found guilty of both murder and a conspiracy to murder. Edwards was found not guilty of murder. However, he was found guilty of conspiracy to murder. The matter is expected to begin at 10 a.m. Now, Energy Minister Darrell Vaz says he'll be engaging the Jamaica Public Service Company, JPS, to see how the company can fast-track its operations to restore electricity to its customers in St. Elizabeth. Minister Vaz toured St. Elizabeth, Clarendon, and Manchester on Wednesday to assess the damage caused by Hurricane Beryl.
The infrastructure is badly damaged, and I'm glad I got a first-hand view. And that's going to make me have another discussion with JPS in relation to strategies in terms of fast-tracking what is happening to get electricity back. It's not going to be easy, and I don't want anybody to believe that this is going to be an easy road. A coordinated effort with government and private sector, community, and international assistance.
Beryl destroyed more than 200 power lines in St. Elizabeth. In its latest public advisory on Wednesday, JPS said the restoration of power in the parish could continue up to August. Minister Vaz says JPS will have to provide a plan for the full restoration of power over the next month.
JPS asked Cabinet to give them until Friday to finish their assessment. I have done my own observations. I don't have the technical expertise, but I have common sense, and I can tell you that they will have to show me a plan that can take me to restoration in 4 weeks. Not just telling me about a plan, they'll have to show me, because the level of infrastructure damage that I'm seeing, it is still a big task to be able to get this damage repaired in the timeline that we are speaking about, which is 4 weeks for these areas. I must say that both JPS and the two telcos are working tirelessly.
Darrell Vaz, Energy Minister, he was speaking during Nationwide at 5 on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Labour and Social Security Minister Pernod Charles Jr. says his ministry continues to distribute relief supplies to residents of communities worst affected by Beryl.
The assistance is basically parallel to the impact. So most of the assistance goes to the areas that are most severely impacted, and it is dependent on the type of impact. So you'll find that in St. Elizabeth, for instance, we have the most tarpaulins that have been distributed. And in other places like Southern Clarendon, you might have the most food packages that are distributed because of the situation that they have even before the hurricane. So we do it based on the data, based on the demographic, based on the information received from our social workers as they interact and engage with people on the ground.
Minister Charles Jr., who was also speaking on Nationwide at 5, is urging citizens who are in need of relief assistance to make contact with his ministry.
Please try and contact your Ministry of Labour and Social Security parish office. I know that you may not have phone coverage, but if you can get into a place where there's phone coverage, the number is 876-922-8009. And there are several other emergency numbers that are on social media. So I'd ask those persons to try and get somewhere where you can get into coverage and contact us. If that doesn't work, rely on the social worker or the community leader. And we are working with our members of parliament as well. And if members of parliament provide us with information, we funnel that down to our parish managers and try and get our social workers out to do the evaluation and to give support as necessary.
Pernod Charles Jr., Minister of Labour and Social Security. Senior advisor and strategist in the Ministry of Tourism, Delana Seavright, says assessments are still ongoing to evaluate the impact of supply and demand between the agriculture and tourism industries following the passage of Hurricane Beryl. Preliminary estimates indicate that agriculture suffered nearly $2 billion in damage. More in this report from Shlois Michael.
Farming communities in St. Elizabeth, Clarendon and Manchester have been dealt the brunt of the impact following Wednesday's hurricane. Crops such as bananas, plantains, lettuce, melon, cucumber, breadfruits, mangoes and other fruits have been destroyed. Small poultry farmers were also dealt a major blow. The impact has left hoteliers concerned. Mr. Seavright says assessments are ongoing to ascertain the gravity of the situation.
They are actually quite concerned because the tourism sector consumes a significant amount of what our farmers produce in Jamaica. We are doing our assessments with the tourism industry to ascertain the impact as it relates to Hurricane Beryl and what it has done to the agriculture industry. The southern parishes in particular have been badly hit, so there is an expectation that there will be definitely shortages of key vegetables and fruits, lettuce, cauliflower, also melon, cantaloupe, cucumber, and of course other fruits. We're doing our assessments to see how vast of an impact there has been, but we do expect shortages in the coming days and weeks.
Mr. Seavright is anticipating that the necessary effort will be made to ensure the continued supply of livestock and vegetables to hotels as the local farming community recovers.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries have been very proactive in also doing their own assessment, and we expect that they will implement measures that will, at the very least, stabilize the supply of important fruits and vegetables in the short term until our farmers are able to get back up to speed. In terms of time frames, based on what we have picked up from the agriculture sector, we expect that in 3 to 4 months, the situation will level off, certainly for a number of key vegetables and so on.
Mr. Steve Wright says the relevant tourism stakeholders are still contemplating possible alternatives to ease the concerns.
The JHTA and other sector interests are doing their assessments, and they will get back to us in a few days at the very least as it relates to what corrective measures could be put in place to at least ease the concern over the coming weeks and months until the local agriculture sector can get back up to speed and regularize supplies.
Shaloy Smichael for Nationwide News.
The Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, says the damage assessments from Hurricane Beryl are now concentrated on southern parishes. Acting Director General of ODPEM, Richard Thompson, says efforts are being directed to the south following the completion of assessments in St. Thomas. He was speaking at Wednesday's post-cabinet media briefing at the Office of the Prime Minister.
Our post-disaster and damage assessment, we started that activity immediately after the passage of Hurricane Beryl when the all clear was given. The team has gone out into the southern parishes. We extended our assessment from St. Thomas all the way along the southern coastline and also into St. James. We have now completed our activities in St. Thomas, and we are now focusing mainly in the most affected areas. The damage assessment, as I said, is being done along the southern side, and the team is working out of the National Emergency Operations Center, and that is being coordinated in its totality by the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management.
Mr. Thompson says ODPEM is collaborating with different groups in a move to ensure the information they gather is accurate.
We also have some international support within the NEOC in terms of the damage assessment, which include the World Food Program, USAID, BHA. We have support from the Jamaica Defense Force and the Jamaica Fire Brigade providing drone support. So we're using all the technologies now that we have at our disposal to ensure that we're getting adequate information to influence our damage assessment. We also did very early after the passage of the aerial reconnaissance assessment, which was supported by the Jamaica Defense Force, and the ODPEM team was a part of that. The areas being assessed are being mapped extensively by our National Emergency GIS Response Team.
Richard Thompson, Acting Director General of ODPEM. The National Water Commission, NWC, says customers in St. Anne and St. Mary should expect a water regulation schedule lasting for at least the next 5 days. The measure took effect on Wednesday and will continue until Sunday, July 14. According to the NWC, the regulation is to facilitate the clearing of blockages at the water source. It will also contribute to the rebuilding of storage tank levels at the Bogue Water Treatment Facility in St. Anne. The NWC says the temporary regulation schedule will supply water to several areas from 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily. Customers are being advised to expect low water pressure or intermittent supply disruptions during the period. Telecommunications company Flow says the availability of mobile service to customers is now at 88%. The telecom giant provided the update on Wednesday. Several customers of Flow experienced outages and a disconnection of their networks during the passage of Hurricane Beryl. Flow says for its fixed customers, 65% of communities impacted by the hurricane have been restored. The company added that 73% of its damaged cables have been repaired. Flow noted that the figures are expected to improve as the company mobilizes all resources to restore service quickly. According to Flow, restoration efforts are now ongoing in sections of St. Elizabeth. These include Watchwell to Pedro, Top Hill to Junction, Flagaman to Top Hill, Black River to White House, and other areas. The telecoms provider says it has also begun providing humanitarian aid in the parish. In the absence of electricity, Flow says it has dispatched mobile units to several communities to provide charging service. The Southeast Regional Health Authority, SERA, says the Accident and Emergency Department at the Spanish Town Hospital in St. Catherine is back in full operation. This comes after heavy rain last Saturday caused flooding in the department. The issue meant that hospital staff had to temporarily relocate patients to other wards. Sarah says Spanish Town Hospital's comprehensive range of services, including specialized clinics, outpatient care, and surgical procedures, have now been restored. Minister of Local Government and Community Development Desmond McKenzie says that the government will ensure all markets and infirmaries damaged by Hurricane Beryl are repaired. Minister McKenzie was speaking at Wednesday's post-cabinet media briefing at the office of the Prime Minister.
Not only our roads were affected, but at least 4 of our infirmaries, Westmoreland, Trelawney, Hanover, St. Anne and St. Elizabeth, those infirmaries were affected. Markets were also affected, and we saw where damage was done to the Falmouth, Mandeville, Lucy, and Old Harbour Market. And the government, earlier on this year, had announced a $500 million program for the repairs of markets across the country. We will move that process forward, and we will give priorities to those markets that were affected by the hurricane.
Mr. McKenzie gave an update on the roads overseen by local government that were affected by Beryl.
And it is estimated that over some 500 municipal roads were affected by the passage of the hurricane. Bridges that are under the direct control of local government was also affected. And in some cases, the National Works Agency and the local authorities work to ensure restoration of a number of roads across the country. About 70% of the municipal roads have been cleared, or access has been made possible on a number of these roads. And I know the efforts are being made to create more access to many of these community roads that are still impossible.
Desmond McKenzie, Minister of Local Government and Community Development. Meanwhile, Minister McKenzie is calling on Jamaicans to desist from spreading false information about the government's response to Hurricane Beryl.
Many people have responded in a positive way, and I would not want at this stage of the game, and for persons who, for want of creating mischief, to be giving false information and to be painting a false picture of the government's response. I can speak about Gilbert because I was actively a part of the work in Gilbert. And I've seen in this hurricane the response of the government of Prime Minister Andrew Holness is as such that hardly anyone, it would take somebody who has devious intentions to question the performance of the administration.
Desmond McKenzie, Minister of Local Government and Community Development. And that's it for the local segment of the news. Up next, regional and international.
At Design Privacy, we value relationships. Join our exclusive open DPO community and interact with privacy professionals. Share ideas, insightful challenges, and build career-boosting connections with expert advice at your fingertips. Get access to specialized tools, exclusive workshops, and case studies. Enjoy unparalleled networking. Join Design Privacy's open DPO community to expand your expertise and excel in your career. Visit opendpocommunity.com today and take your data privacy skills to the next level.
Treatment for drinking water. Following the passage of Hurricane Beryl, members of the public are reminded to treat their drinking water before consumption. Water can be treated by boiling or adding bleach. Here are some tips to help you. For boiling water, water that is boiled for treating should be heated until it comes to a rolling boil where bubbles continuously come to the surface of the water. Allow water to boil for 1 minute. Cover and let cool. Store water in a clean covered container. For adding bleach, you may also add 3% or 5% household bleach, not bulk bleach, to treat drinking water. Add 2 drops of bleach to 1 quart of water. Mix well and leave for 30 minutes before drinking. For further information, please contact the Health Emergency Operations Center at 888-1-LOVE. That's 888-663-5683.
In regional and international news this morning, regional news, the Bahamas have conferred the Order of National Hero to a former enslaved woman, Kate Moss, as the country celebrated its 51st anniversary of political independence from Britain on Wednesday. In the 1820s, Henry and Helen Moss were plantation owners in Crooked Island. Kate Moss was enslaved on that plantation. She was accused of theft, insubordination, and insolence by the plantation owners. The Governor General's office says during her early service, Kate refused to mend clothes as instructed by the plantation owners and consistently refused to carry out negative orders. Her refusals caused her repeatedly severe punishment, from which she eventually died. Abolitionists in England learned about the plight of Kate and called Kate Poor Black Kate. When the authorities in Nassau heard about her death, they charged Henry and Helen Moss with murder. They were found guilty, and the magistrate sentenced them to a £300 fine or 5 months in Nassau's common jail. The Governor General's office said Kate's death and her action against slavery became big news on both sides of the Atlantic in the late 1820s and 1830s and was used to strengthen the growing demand for the abolition of slavery. International, China has accused NATO of seeking security at the expense of others and told the alliance not to bring the same chaos to Asia. The statement by a foreign ministry spokesperson came a day after NATO labeled China a decisive enabler of Russia's war against Ukraine. China has broken with the United States and its European allies over the war in Ukraine, refusing to condemn Russia's invasion. Its trade with Russia has grown since the invasion, at least partially offsetting the impact of Western sanctions. NATO, in a communique issued at a summit in Washington, said China has become an enabler of the war through its no-limits partnership with Russia and its large-scale support for Russia's defense industrial base. And that's it for regional and international. Up next, sports.
Does your bra ride up your back? Do your shoulders hurt from carrying the weight of your breasts? These are signs of an ill-fitting bra. When was the last time you were fitted by a bra fit specialist? The bra experts at LaBelle Femme will take care of you. Drop into the store at 53 Lady Musgrave Road, Tuesdays to Saturdays from 10 to 5, and you will see the difference. Or call 876-622-6091.
You can still go through quicker and cheaper with a T-tag under the new toll rate structure. Effective July 6, there will be some changes to the toll rates at the Portmore, Spanish Town, Vineyards and Maypen toll plazas. But don't worry, with a T-tag, all Class 1 and Class 2 customers will enjoy discounted rates for every single passage. Plus, your 10th weekly trip through the same toll plaza is free. Visit transjamhighways.com for details. Get your T-tag today from any Highway 2000 East-West manual toll booth.
Let's talk about inflation. At May 2024, the annual inflation rate, the general rate of price increase over 12 months, was 5.2%. This is good news, as it shows that inflation is being controlled and the rate of price increases is slowing. May was the fourth consecutive month of lower headline inflation, and the third straight month, inflation was controlled within the target range of between 4 to 6%. A message from Bank of Jamaica.
Time now for your morning sports. England has tightened its grip on the first cricket test against West Indies at Lord's, resuming on 189 for 3 on today's second day. The hosts at Sports Time are now 260 for 5, replying to the West Indies' first innings 121 all out. Harry Brook 50 and Ben Stokes 3 are the men dismissed. Joe Root is 56 not out. To football news, Colombia beat Uruguay 1-0 in a bad-tempered semi-final in North Carolina on Wednesday night to book their place in Sunday's Copa America final. Jefferson Lerma scored the lone goal on 39 minutes. The Colombians will face defending champions Argentina in the championship final in Miami on Sunday. Legendary coach Glenn Mills says Olympic double sprint champion Elaine Thompson-Herah has been a great ambassador for the country through track and field. Mills says that Thompson-Herah's performances over the years have established her as one of the best sprinters of all times. Thompson-Herah was hoping to become the first woman and only the second person in history to win the sprint double at 3 consecutive Olympics. However, the 32-year-old will not be able to defend her titles due to injury. Mills says the injury may have robbed the world of a piece of history.
Unfortunately, she seems to be plagued with injury at this part of her career, and she has not been able to recapture the glory days that she had. Unfortunately, she is unable to defend her Olympic crown, and all I can say is that I hope that she'll be able to get the kind of medical expertise that will be able to get her better and to get her back to where she can capture where she was. But it seems to be going to be a very difficult task ahead.
Glenn Mills. Jamaica's under-21 netball team beat Canada 65-16 for their second straight win at the America's Netball World Youth Qualifiers in Guadeloupe. The young Sunshine Girls are seeking one of 3 qualifying spots to the Netball World Youth Cup in Gibraltar next summer. They opened their campaign with a 71-9 win over the Cayman Islands. It's now time for the Nationwide Olympic Fact, sponsored by the Real Estate Board and the Commission of Strata Corporations.
This is Nationwide's Olympic Facts, brought to you by the Real Estate Board and the Commission of Strata Corporations.
Did you know that Jamaica is the only country to have athletes finishing first, second, and second in a final at the Olympic Games? Yes, that's a fact. Jamaican athletes finished 1-2-2 in the women's 100 meters final at the 2008 Beijing Olympics. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price took gold in 10.78 seconds, and Sharon Simpson and Karen Stewart both finished second with identical times of 10.98 seconds.
That was Nationwide's Olympic Facts, brought to you by the Real Estate Board and the Commission of Strata Corporations.
And that's it for your morning sports.
Good health starts with proper hydration. Hydrate your body with Hydrate. Hydrate is purified natural water from rocks 110 feet below the ground. You have never tasted water so great, yet so affordable. Yes, taste and experience it for yourself. Water at its best. Hydrate. Available also as purified alkaline water and ultra-purified distilled water. Bottled by LLNSCS Limited, a subsidiary of Max Pharmaceuticals. Call 876-983-6466.
In business this morning, Paymaster Jamaica Limited has confirmed that it has received a notice of suspension of its money transfer and remittance license from the Bank of Jamaica BOJ. The suspension was announced by the BOJ on Wednesday. The BOJ says the suspension took effect on July 5. It says the move is due to a breach of Paymaster's record-keeping requirements. The BOJ says a Paymaster will not be able to operate as a primary agent from 19 locations across the island until further notice. According to the BOJ, Paymaster can, however, continue to operate as a sub-agent of 6 other primary agents. In a follow-up, Paymaster says the suspension only applies to its primary agent services supplied to a single overseas provider. Paymaster says its remittance services to LASCO and JMMB Money Transfer, along with its bill payment services, remain unaffected. Paymaster noted that it proactively advised the BOJ of a system error in accordance with its statutory obligations. The company says it has since been in active communication with the central bank. Despite this, Paymaster says the BOJ's announcement of the suspension is the first notification it has received of non-compliance. Paymaster says it's taking the matter seriously and remains committed to addressing the issue. Gas prices are going up this morning. Motorists will pay $1.95 more for a litre of 87-octane gasoline. 90-octane will also be sold for $1.97 more. The price of automotive diesel oil will go up by $1.35. Ultra-low sulfur diesel will also go up by $1.45. Meanwhile, kerosene goes up by $2.38. Propane cooking gas will go up by 40 cents. Butane will also be sold for 70 cents more. Marketing companies and retailers will add their markups to these prices. Finally, in foreign exchange trading this morning, the Jamaican dollar has lost 2 cents and will open trading today, selling for an average $157.46 against the benchmark U.S. dollar. The Jamaican has gained $2.13 and will open trading today, selling for an average $114.72 against the Canadian. And finally, the Jamaican has lost $2.77 and will open trading this morning, selling for an average $201.90 against the British pound. That's it for business this morning.
For all your musical needs, visit the Music Mart, the most complete music store in Jamaica. Telephone 876-960-7712. The time brought to you by the Music Mart is
6:32.
Attention all commuters, your JUTC fares just got lower. Use your Smarter card today and pay only $50. Yes, only $50. Travel safe and hassle-free with the JUTC using your Smarter card. But wait, there's more. Get 3 free rides with your first Smarter card top-up before May 31. With your Smarter card, paying your fare is easier. Say goodbye to coins and hello to hassle-free travel. Don't miss this opportunity when you travel with the JUTC, your route to excellence. Conditions apply.
On your mark, set, get ready to go. It's time for the True Juice 5K, the one-of-a-kind experience taking you through the beautiful True Juice orchards in Boardwalk, Sunday, July 21, 2024. Register now at truejuice.com. Entry fee only $2,500. Come run, walk, and have fun while raising funds for the Linset Hospital. Follow at True Juice on Instagram for more details.
Jamaica, it's here again. Phosphorage Super Summer Sale, July 1 to August 31. Come get your wires, breakers, solar flood lamps, LED bulbs, ceiling fans, and so much more. Call 876-937-5099 or visit us in Kingston, Mandeville, Draxall, and Montego Bay. Up to 60% off this summer. Get your solar panels starting from $17,600. Come shop, come save at Phosphorage Super Summer Sale, July 1 to August 31. See you there at Phosphorage. Open Sundays.
Good morning to you. Good morning to you. You're tuned in to Nationwide this morning. NTM, happy Thursday to ya. It is Thursday, July 11, 2024. Good morning to all our YouTubers, our peeps out there in Radioland. Joining us from the app and on the website, hello to you as well. Happy Thursday. I'm Tona Thomas.
Morning, Tona. Morning, listeners and viewers. My name is George.
Hey to you, George.
Watagwan pa watagwan.
Nothing much.
Yeah, no.
I was asking just before we came on air if you had a nickname. And you said no. I'm not supposed to call you out. I swear, I'm not supposed to call you out.
No, yeah, try to trick me now.
Why you look? No, okay. Nah. I'm not supposed to do that. I'm not supposed to do that. I'm not.
Donna, you sure you didn't have a nickname? You know I can find out easily, right?
I did. It was always TT.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And somebody used to call me Tana Banana back in primary school.
Yeah, the girl's name Shauna and Tana get that. You know, Shauna Banana, Tana Banana.
Yeah, but aside from that, and there was a young lady at Hampton that used to call me Tuna. It's so funny now. I see my friend in the YouTube chat, Jacqueline Thomas. That's what she calls me. And people are always telling her it's Tana, not Tuna. But that's her way of, being funny.
Yeah.
And I understand that. I always say, whoa, look at Tuna, coming back again. Because, I was called that in high school as well by a classmate of mine.
I get names in situations. So, for instance, we used to have a ball game at UE on a Saturday morning. Started at 6:30 every Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So in that ball game, you have to get a nickname. So I had one. Well, I had 3.
You had 3.
Yeah, man. I have 3 nicknames. I think the common Tana. Yeah, I had 3. And it was just wild, the names. So it was based on your character, or if you were trying to be like a recognized footballer but you weren't that good, they'd bastardize the real footballer's name and give you. So, for instance, we had a guy who, he had a footballer, the England international, played for Chelsea and Manchester City, named Sean Wright Phillips. So there was a guy who played there who had a resemblance of him, same stature and everything, and he liked to use the ball like how Wright Phillips did. So so they didn't call him Sean Wright Phillips, they called him Sean Wrong Phillips.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
So my sources are.
Yeah, man, talk to me. Where your sources are telling you? Don't be afraid. But
the thing is, I need to ask my source is which one on them called Jerry.
No, that's not a nickname. That's me.
Oh, it's you.
Yeah.
Oh.
But Tana,
So hello, source. You need to tell us about Jerry.
but you've seen my Manchester United jersey in the office with Jerry in the back.
No, I didn't see.
Yeah, man. Ask Tiffany
Oh, it's
Mordecai.
you.
Yeah, man. So that's not a nickname.
Oh.
Nickname a different thing. So one of the ball names.
I didn't know they call you Jerry.
Yeah, man. That was my father's name actually.
I
So
see.
and the resemblance. So people said, "Oh my God, it's the
Yeah.
R1 copy." So yeah. So
I need to know Jermaine's nicknames.
But me not tell you that.
Source.
A secret
Ready
something
up.
that. So yeah. So you had a player for Portugal, the former Portugal captain, named Luis Figo, who was a winger. Yeah, and I'm a top winger in the town.
Oh, you are?
From schoolboy football days till now. Yeah.
Ah.
So my name was a play on Luis Figo. So I was Luis Ego.
Ego. I like
Yeah, man,
it.
Luis
I like
Ego.
it.
Yeah, man. So there you go.
Look at German. He's on the edge of his
The
seat.
man want play what's on my mind because the man don't want you. But
And
mess with him name.
We are getting to it. So this morning for What's on My Mind, we're featuring Jermaine Barrett, who, as many of you know, is the founder and executive director of the Jamaican Association for Debating and Empowerment, JADE Limited. And this morning, he's talking about the challenges he has faced living with blindness over the past 2 years. Let's take a listen.
There's a way in which those of us who are public commentators talk a lot about things that are happening in the society, in the world at large. And very rarely do we become vulnerable with our audience to share with them the things that are affecting us at a personal level. This morning, I want to do just that. I want to share with you an aspect of Jermaine Barrett that you, the listening audience, you who view the program in the mornings, may not very often, if at all, get to experience. For about a year and a half now, I have been dealing with blindness. And when I say blindness, I know, because I was one of them, that members within the sighted community understand that it is something that's difficult to deal with. It's hard. It's not something that you would want for yourself. But I want to let you in a little bit into my world. What does it mean? What is the experience that I go through on a daily basis being blind? Every morning, without failure, I wake up, I open my eyes, and for a second or two, I expect to see. And recognizing that there is no visual perception, I feel a deep sense of sadness. Every day, without cease, I get constantly frustrated. It is difficult. It is hard. Being blind as a young man, I have lost a tremendous amount of my independence and my autonomy. I have to be reliant constantly on people around me to help me out. To say it's difficult is an understatement. It's not just the big things you can't do, like reading again or seeing people's faces. But every single time you come upon a new experience and you feel overwhelmed because you don't know how to navigate, how to move in the world, how to interact, it is so incredibly difficult. And I am minded oftentimes to shut myself away and not to interact. Many persons who are blind for years now, theirs is not this experience. I'm not suggesting for once that this is everybody's experience. It is certainly mine. This difficulty that I'm going through is compounded by the fact that I have several other debilitating medical experiences. I won't go through them, but I let you into this aspect of my world simply because you are a part of my world. And what do I mean by that? I mean, every single one of us who live in this society are interrelated and interact at some point or the other. You, able to see, may know somebody who is blind, may know somebody who has a disability. You have a responsibility to make that person's life a little easier. Not to lift their load, not to carry their burden, but to help them as they navigate through life so that the deep foreboding depression and oftentimes shame that overwhelm them doesn't come about too often. And when it does, you who are able must be empathetic, must be kind, must be understanding. It doesn't mean that you must have all the answers, because nobody does. But just being there to hold their hands, to support them, to check in on them, it does help. It does help immensely. I want to say that I can say this assuredly and confidently because that has been my experience. Although it's difficult now, it gets easier daily because my family, my friends, my loved ones are there for me. And I know they feel the pain and I know they feel the hurt, but they are there, and that helps me to get by. The final thing I want to leave you with is this fact that many times people see disabled persons as being less than, less capable, and they denigrate them and resile them to a life of ineptness and incompetence. That is not true. Disabled people can do enormous good in the world. They may do it differently. They may have to interact with the world in alternative ways, but they can achieve enormous good. And you must try to help them to do that good, to be their best selves. That is what's on my mind.
Yeah. A very personal What's on My Mind this morning, George, from Jermaine. And I remember when Jermaine started doing What's on My Mind and we posted, I believe it was this picture, and it just broke me a little or a lot how, some people reacted to the imagery not knowing Jermaine's story, Jermaine is somebody who is blind and so brilliant still, able to do so much. If you don't know him or ever seen him, you'd never know that he's blind. And he said it in his What's on My Mind. Don't think of them as incompetent or they're not able to do what others can do, because he's able to do so much brilliant, beyond measure. And it's just for us to show a lot of kindness, compassion to our Jamaican citizens who are in the disabled community, whether it be blindness or some other form of physical disability, to show kindness to them and to give them wings, to do what they have the ability to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I met him years ago at the University of Technology. He was a debater. I was coaching the team for several cycles, and he was part of it. I played a part, I think. Well, he has acknowledged that publicly. We're part of the Mutual Appreciation Society, myself and Jermaine. I regard him as one of the best proposers of an argument, best debaters to have ever walked through UTech. And we've had some special ones walk through. He's among the best. And when in our time together with the other team members, nobody gave him any facilitation because he had challenges. They just appreciated him because he was a very nice man and a very intelligent person. And I have the respect I have for Jermaine Barrett. You can't measure it.
Yeah.
And he will make his own path. He's not asking for sympathy. He says empathy is important. And top guy. Morning, Jermaine, wherever you are.
Morning to you, Jermaine.
It's This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6:50.
Need equipment rental, repair, or sales? The Contractor Center has you covered. We also offer epoxy installation, stamp concrete, and construction chemicals, serving commercial, industrial, construction, and residential industries. Don't let everyday challenges hold you back. Visit us at 26 Shortwood Road or online at contractorcenterja.com or call 876-968-4816.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10 or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales for a better choice in the electrical business.
The best Burger King with the best tasting burger under the sun. You deserve the best. You are number one. Best. Flame grilling, juicy whopper, cause you deserve it. Yeah, next level, awesome. That's how we serve it. Mama menu done your way. You got the taste rules every day. Flame grilled goodness, you deserve it. Well done. More flavor, fresh Burger King, best tasting burger under the sun.
Guard against mosquito-borne diseases. Following the passage of Hurricane Beryl, members of the public are reminded to be vigilant in order to prevent mosquito-borne diseases such as dengue. Here are some tips to help you. Search around the home for places where water may have settled and clear them. Use insect repellent containing DEET. Use mosquito nets. Use mosquito destroyer. Put screens on windows and doors. Avoid places with standing water or garbage piles. For further information, please contact the Health Emergency Operations Center at 888-1-LOVE. That's 888-663-5683.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute is brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Ludlow McLean, El Shaddai, and the Morning Report. And when I say El Shaddai, I mean El Shaddai, El Shaddai. Here comes Adonai. Yeah, Ludlow loves singing. I want to want him sing this morning. Morning, Ludlow. What's happening on the streets?
Morning, George. Morning, Tony. The streets are busy, but not to the extent that you're not able to move. The eastbound westbound side of the Washington Boulevard from as far as Moline Boulevard to 6 miles. Really free flowing, but the left side heading up to Moline in the opposite direction, you have traffic. It's really slow moving, but you can make your way, and that's a very quick update because time wouldn't allow me. Just to tell you, the lights by Boston Avenue and Marvelly Avenue, in the Marvelly community, and going across to the next section, Jewsland community, by Warrell Crescent, I believe it is. It's not working. And also Lady Musgrave Road and Olop Road. All right, those two lights are out of commission. So there you go, until 7:18.
Thank you, Ludlow. Ludlow McLean there with Street Smarts One. Up next, the word of the day.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute was brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Your word of the day, spelled Elevenses, spelled Elevenses.
Elevenses.
Your word of the day is pronounced Elevenses. It's a noun and it simply means a mid-morning break for refreshments. Could we have an Elevenses nationwide? A mid-morning break for refreshments, Elevenses. And Dictionary.com is telling us that it was first recorded between 1840 and 1865. The sentence provided by Dictionary.com: every day she looks forward to Elevenses, a brief respite from her busy schedule. Elevenses is your word of the day.
Yesterday, Cliff Hughes, I run me down in the office for mango.
I heard the commotion.
The man are ugly. Them send a box of mango for him.
I took 3.
I purloined a few.
Yes.
And them frame me with some more. The man go in my place, dig up a whole of the office, find mango. And in program I go on by here and then the producer look for Cliff, can't find Cliff.
How we are about water in NNN is how we are about fruits as well, you know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Up next, your features.
Mango Man. Morning.
At the top of the hour, the news.
Older adults have fewer headaches than younger adults, but they are still common in older adults. Headaches affect 64% of women and 53% of men between 55 and 74, and 55% of women and 22% of men 75 and older, according to the Mayo Clinic. This week on Coming of Age, we will assess some tips you can employ to decrease headaches as an older adult. A key difference in headaches affecting seniors is that causes are more often secondary than for younger adults. The University of Toronto says 2/3 of headaches in older adults result from primary causes like tension type, migraine, and cluster headaches. Researchers at the Cleveland Clinic have been making progress on new technology that can help reduce severe headaches.
Headaches are the most common disorders of the nervous system. Traditionally, treatment has focused on medication. Now, a multidisciplinary team is taking a new approach by developing a method that allows patients to control their symptoms using electrical stimulation. Though migraine and cluster headaches have different causes, the outflow pathway may be the same. The sphenopalatine ganglion nerve, located under the cheekbone.
We think the pain is originated from the pain fibers that are in these blood vessels. So if we can control this vasoconstriction and vasodilatation of these blood vessels, we may be able to stop migraine or cluster headaches.
Team members from the Neurological, Plastic Surgery, Dermatology, Head and Neck, and Anesthesia and Pain Management Institutes work together to develop new instruments and a novel approach. Through a tiny incision in the gums of the upper jaw, a small neuromodulating electrode is implanted alongside the SPG nerve. The device can't be seen or felt by the patient and is controlled through a handheld transmitter.
So far to date, with our first series of our cluster patients, this is more effective than 10 times the placebo.
This is the most exciting research I've ever done, because the idea that patients could have a device implanted with no wires that the patient can use, terminate attacks or prevent attacks, no medication, the prospect for these suffering patients is unbelievable.
Lifestyle changes can also help to ease headaches. If you experience headaches and the secondary causes have been ruled out, certain lifestyle changes can make a difference. Get enough sleep. This can help prevent headaches from developing or escalating. Don't skip meals. Start with a healthy breakfast, eat lunch and dinner, and drink enough water. Avoid headache triggers. Reduce exposure to possible triggers like bright lights, loud noises, or too much caffeine or alcohol. If the headaches persist, consult a doctor about strategies you can utilize to get some relief. That's it for Coming of Age this week.
Fearless and Fair, Nationwide 90 FM.
Nothing gives me greater joy than attending weddings. Something about two people going before God to make their union official usually leaves friends and family members in tears. You will feel extra special when an invite is extended to you, because making a guest list for a wedding can be pretty difficult. But is it okay to bring a guest? Hi, I'm Tana, and welcome to Lifestyle Pages. Weddings are expensive events that take careful planning and money. So, if an invite only has your name on it, it simply means that you are the only one invited. Do not bring a guest. This would leave your friends to pay for that extra person who is not budgeted or catered for. Catering alone takes up a chunk of someone's wedding budget, and usually they charge per person. It is in poor taste to show up with someone who was not invited, especially if you did not ask the couple if you could do so. You can only bring a guest if the invite says to Miss or Mr. So-and-so and guest. I'm Tana, and those were your Lifestyle Pages.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
From Negril Point to Morant Bay, a little kindness can go a far way. The time by the Jamaica Information Service is...
News time, 7 o'clock.
If you need to build it, plumb it, weld it, pave it, or power it, National Supply has it. Get the best brands for the job at Jamaica's Industrial Hardware Superstore, Kingston or Bay. The temperature by National Supply is
29 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 28 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay.
The most credible news in the morning. The news at 7 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Coming up in the news this morning, Thursday, July 11, 2024, convicted wife killer Omar Collymore is due to be sentenced today. Energy Minister says JPS needs to fast-track its operations to restore power to St. Elizabeth, and residents of St. Anne and St. Mary will experience disruption to their water supply schedule for the next 5 days. In international news, China rejects label of enabler of Russia's war in Ukraine.
News at 7 is brought to you by Hyundai. Modern, premium, affordable vehicles.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. Murder convict Omar Collymore and his 3 co-convicts are set to be sentenced today. Collymore was found guilty of murder and conspiracy for the 2018 killing of his wife, businesswoman Simone Campbell Collymore, and her taxi driver Winston Walters. The guilty verdict was handed down on May 15 this year in the Supreme Court. Simone and Mr. Walters were shot and killed on January 2, 2018 at the entrance to her apartment complex on Stanley Terrace in Red Hills, St. Andrew. Simone was shot 19 times, while Walters was shot 5 times. Omar faced 2 counts of murder and 1 count of conspiracy to murder, along with Michael Adams, Dwayne Pink, and Shaquilla Edwards. The trial into the double murder began on February 12 this year. 4 months later, a 7-member jury handed down the verdict. Collymore, along with Pink and Adams, were each found guilty of both murder and conspiracy to murder. Edwards was found not guilty of murder. However, he was found guilty on the conspiracy charge. The matter is set to begin at 10 a.m. The St. James Police have reported that the prime suspect in Tuesday's triple murder in Montego Bay is now in custody. The lawmen say the suspect turned himself in at the Falmouth Police Station on Wednesday afternoon. In addition to being a person of interest in the triple murder, the head of the St. James Police, Superintendent Aaron Samuels, says the man, identified as John Lee Roach, is wanted for several other offenses.
This afternoon that John Lee Roach turned himself in to the Falmouth police station, and he is a person of interest in that triple murder. Also, he is wanted for shooting with intent with the police officers yesterday. Also, he is also wanted for a murder in Hanover and also a shooting with intent that he had absconded bail for.
Superintendent Aaron Samuels, head of the St. James Police. The police reported on Tuesday that when they responded to the scene of the murders, a man they believed to be Roach engaged them in a gun battle. He escaped by jumping several feet into a gully. The police say they found 2 firearms at the scene. Meanwhile, the operations officer for the St. James Police, Deputy Superintendent Linroy Edwards, says a second man has been implicated in Tuesday's triple murder.
We also have interest in a second suspect, Kashim Lewis, OC Borderline. He's the other person that was implicated in the triple murder yesterday evening. We want the public to assist us in locating this suspect so we can bring him to justice.
Deputy Superintendent Linroy Edwards, Operation Officer for the St. James Police. Speaking on Wednesday afternoon, the lawmen are urging persons listed as wanted to turn themselves in, as they will not stop in their efforts to bring them to justice. Energy Minister Daryl Vaz says he'll be engaging the Jamaica Public Service Company JPS to see how the entity can fast-track its operations to restore power to its customers in St. Elizabeth. Minister Vaz toured St. Elizabeth, Clarendon and Manchester on Wednesday to assess the damage caused by Hurricane Beryl.
The infrastructure is badly damaged, and I'm glad I got a first-hand view. And that's going to make me have another discussion with JPS in relation to strategies in terms of fast-tracking what is happening to get electricity back. It's not going to be easy, and I don't want anybody to believe that this is going to be an easy road. A coordinated effort with government and private sector, community, and international assistance.
Beryl destroyed more than 200 light posts in St. Elizabeth. In its latest public advisory on Wednesday, JPS said the restoration of power in the parish could continue up to August. Minister Vaz says JPS will have to provide a plan for the full restoration of power over the next month.
JPS asked Cabinet to give them until Friday to finish their assessment. I have done my own observations. I don't have the technical expertise, but I have common sense, and I can tell you that they will have to show me a plan that can take me to restoration in 4 weeks. Not just telling me about a plan, they'll have to show me, because the level of infrastructure damage that I'm seeing, it is still a big task to be able to get this damage repaired in the timeline that we are speaking about, which is 4 weeks for these areas. I must say that both JPS and the 2 telcos are working tirelessly.
Daryl Vaz, Energy Minister. He was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Labour and the Social Security Minister Pernell Charles Jr. says his ministry continues to distribute relief supplies to residents of communities worst affected by Beryl.
The assistance is basically parallel to the impact. So most of the assistance goes to the areas that are most severely impacted, and it is dependent on the type of impact. So you'll find that in St. Elizabeth, for instance, we have the most tarpaulins that have been distributed. And in other places like Southern Clarendon, you might have the most food packages that are distributed because of the situation that they have even before the hurricane. So we do it based on the data, based on the demographic, based on the information received from our social workers as they interact and engage with people on the ground.
Minister Charles Jr., who was also speaking on Nationwide at 5, is urging citizens who are in need of relief to make contact with his ministry.
Please try and contact your Ministry of Labour and Social Security parish office. I know that you may not have phone coverage, but if you can get into a place where there's phone coverage, the number is 876-922-8009. And there are several other emergency numbers that are on social media. So I would ask those persons to try and get somewhere where you can get into coverage and contact us. If that doesn't work, rely on the social worker or the community leader. And we are working with our members of parliament as well. And if members of parliament provide us with information, we funnel that down to our parish managers and try and get our social workers out to do the evaluation and to give support as necessary.
Pernell Charles Jr., Minister of Labour and Social Security. Senior advisor and a strategist in the Ministry of Tourism, Delano Sivrite, says assessments are still ongoing to evaluate the impact of supply and demand between the agriculture and the tourism industries following the passage of Hurricane Beryl. Preliminary estimates indicate that agriculture suffered nearly $2 billion in damage. We have more in this report from Shalois Michael.
Farming communities in St. Elizabeth, Clarendon, and Manchester have been dealt the brunt of the impact following Wednesday's hurricane. Crops such as bananas, plantains, lettuce, melon, cucumber, breadfruits, mangoes, and other fruits have been destroyed. Small poultry farmers were also dealt a major blow. The impact has left hoteliers concerned. Mr. Sivrite says assessments are ongoing to ascertain the gravity of the situation.
They are actually quite concerned because tourism sector consumes a significant amount of what our farmers produce in Jamaica. We are doing our assessments with the tourism industry to ascertain the impact as it relates to Hurricane Beryl and what it has done to the agriculture industry. The southern parishes in particular have been badly hit, so there is an expectation that there will be definitely shortages of key vegetables and fruits, lettuce, cauliflower, also melon, cantaloupe, cucumber, and of course other fruits. We're doing our assessments to see how vast of an impact there has been, but we do expect shortages in the coming days and weeks.
Mr. Sivrite is anticipating that the necessary effort will be made to ensure the continued supply of livestock and vegetables to hotels as the local farming community recovers.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries have been very proactive in also doing their own assessment, and we expect that they will implement measures that will, at the very least, stabilize the supply of important fruits and vegetables in the short term until our farmers are able to get back up to speed. In terms of time frames, based on what we have picked up from the agriculture sector, we expect that in 3 to 4 months, the situation will level off, certainly for a number of key vegetables and so on.
Mr. Sivrite says the relevant tourism stakeholders are still contemplating possible alternatives to ease the concerns.
The JHTA and other sector interests are doing their assessments, and they will get back to us in a few days at the very least as it relates to what corrective measures could be put in place to at least ease the concern over the coming weeks and months until the local agriculture sector can get back up to speed and regularize supplies.
Shalois Michael for Nationwide News.
The Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, says the damage assessments from Hurricane Beryl are now concentrated on southern parishes. Acting Director General of ODPEM, Richard Thompson, says efforts are being directed to the south following the completion of assessments in St. Thomas. He was speaking at Wednesday's post-cabinet media briefing at the Office of the Prime Minister.
Our post-disaster and damage assessment, we started that activity immediately after the passage of Hurricane Beryl when the all clear was given. The team has gone out into the southern parishes. We extended our assessment from St. Thomas all the way along the southern coastline and also into St. James. We have now completed our activities in St. Thomas, and we are now focusing mainly in the most affected areas. The damage assessment, as I said, is being done along the southern side, and the team is working out of the National Emergency Operations Center, and that is being coordinated in its totality by the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management.
Mr. Thompson says ODPEM is collaborating with different groups to ensure the information they gather is accurate.
We also have some international support within the NEOC in terms of the damage assessment, which include the World Food Program, USAID, BHA. We have support from the Jamaica Defense Force and the Jamaica Fire Brigade providing drone support. So we're using all the technologies now that we have at our disposal to ensure that we're getting adequate information to influence our damage assessment. We also did very early after the passage of the aerial reconnaissance assessment, which was supported by the Jamaica Defense Force, and the ODPEM team was a part of that. The areas being assessed are being mapped extensively by our National Emergency GIS Response Team.
Richard Thompson, Acting Director General of ODPEM. The National Water Commission NWC says customers in St. Anne and the St. Mary should expect a water regulation schedule lasting for at least the next 5 days. The measure took effect on Wednesday and will continue through to Sunday, July 14. According to the NWC, the regulation is to facilitate the clearing of blockages at the water source. It will also contribute to the rebuilding of storage tank levels at the Bogue Water Treatment Facility in St. Anne. The NWC says the temporary regulation schedule will supply water to several areas from 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily. Customers are being advised to expect low water pressure or intermittent supply disruptions during the period. Telecommunications company Flow says the availability of mobile service to customers is now at 88% across the island. The telecom giant provided the update on Wednesday. Several customers of Flow experienced outages and disconnection in the network during the passage of Hurricane Beryl. Flow says for its fixed line customers, 65% of communities impacted by the hurricane have been restored. The company added that 73% of its damaged cables have been repaired. Flow noted that the figures are expected to improve as it mobilizes all resources to restore services quickly. According to Flow, restoration efforts are now ongoing in sections of St. Elizabeth. These include Watchwell to Pedro, Top Hill to Junction, Flagaman to Top Hill, Black River to White House, and other areas. The telecoms provider says it has also begun providing humanitarian aid in the parish. In the absence of electricity, Flow says it has dispatched mobile units to several communities to provide charging stations. Overseas news now. China has accused the NATO of seeking security at the expense of others and told the alliance not to bring the same chaos to Asia. The statement by a foreign ministry spokesman came a day after NATO labeled China a decisive enabler of Russia's war against Ukraine. China has broken with the United States and its European allies over the war in Ukraine, refusing to condemn Russia's invasion. Its trade with Russia has grown since the invasion, at least partially offsetting the impact of Western sanctions. NATO, in a communique issued at a summit in Washington, said China has become an enabler of the war through its no-limits partnership with Russia and its large-scale support of Russia's defense industrial base. That's the news.
News at 7 was brought to you by Hyundai. Modern, premium, affordable vehicles.
Sign up for the JN Money Card. It's safe, convenient, and free. The time by JN Money is
7:16.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness is now accepting applications for the Dr. Barry Wint Memorial Scholarship. Jamaican citizens pursuing a first degree, master's, or PhD in any health-related field, including medical social work, human resources for health, nursing, dentistry, health economics, or any other, can qualify for up to $1 million per year for 5 years to complete their studies. Visit www.moh.gov.jm/scholarship for more details and to submit your application. Deadline date is Wednesday, July 31, 2024. We look forward to seeing your application.
More savings, more choices. Get active with Active Home Center. The one-stop shop for everything for your home. We have more savings, more choices, unbelievable prices. Wide selection with the latest style. The kitchen, bathroom, right down to the tile. Buy the hottest items on spot, don't miss out. Best options under one roof, no doubt. More savings, more choices.
Visit us in store or online at www.activehomecenter.com.
We have more savings, more choices.
At Design Privacy, we value relationships. Join our exclusive open DPO community and interact with privacy professionals. Share ideas, insightful challenges, and build career-boosting connections with expert advice at your fingertips. Get access to specialized tools, exclusive workshops, and case studies. Enjoy unparalleled networking. Join Design Privacy's open DPO community to expand your expertise and excel in your career. Visit opendpocommunity.com today and take your data privacy skills to the next level.
I pursue opportunities.
I prepare for opportunities.
I
plan for opportunities.
With Sagicor e-Invest, you can prepare, plan for and pursue IPO opportunities. Browse IPOs, review IPO details and prospectuses. Select and apply for a featured IPO. IPO with Sagicor e-Invest. Think wealth. Visit sagicor.com.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute is brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Street Smarts 2, Ludlow McLean. That's the combination. Ludlow, what's happening on the streets?
Well, I can tell it's bright and sunny now, but a little bit busier, I would say. The intersection of Waltham and Hagley, free-flowing. As a matter of fact, all the intersections are doing well so far that I come across, except for the Boulevard, Dunrobin, and the Mullines intersection. But otherwise, it's really free-flowing. Those of you who are on the Lindus Road area now, heading on to the Retirement Road, it's free-flowing. Going further down Lindus Road to connect with Studio One Boulevard, all good. As a matter of fact, these areas are flowing quite efficiently for the time being. Maybe it might peak a little later during the course of the morning, but as I said, motorists still have to observe there are a lot of debris in some areas, and I just want to remind you about the Lady Musgrave Road and Olop intersection. Quite a busy area. The lights were not working, and likewise Boston Avenue leading into Marvelly and across to the Jewsland community. The light is not working, so be careful, all right? And that's a major thoroughfare on the Washington Boulevard there. So, as usual, let's street smart. Your safety is all concerned. George, take it away.
Thank you, Ludlow. Ludlow McLean there with Street Smarts 2. Up next, front page.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute was brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Front Page is brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. You're now tuned into our discussion segment, The Front Page. Our focus this morning on The Front Page, the impact of Hurricane Beryl on farmers who provide produce to the tourism sector or hoteliers. Senior advisor and a strategist in the Ministry of Tourism, Delana Seavright, says assessments are still ongoing to evaluate the impact of supply and demand between the agricultural sector and the tourism industry following the passage of Hurricane Beryl. Preliminary estimates indicate that the island's agricultural sector has suffered nearly $2 billion in damage. Mr. Seavright says that the impact has triggered a great deal of concern for the hotel sector. More in this report from Shalois Michael.
Farming communities in St. Elizabeth, Clarendon and Manchester have been dealt the brunt of the impact following Wednesday's hurricane. Crops such as bananas, plantains, lettuce, melon, cucumber, breadfruits, mangoes and other fruits have been destroyed. Small poultry farmers were also dealt a major blow. The impact has left hoteliers concerned. Mr. Seavright says assessments are ongoing to ascertain the gravity of the situation.
They are actually quite concerned because tourism sector consumes a significant amount of what our farmers produce in Jamaica. We are doing our assessments with the tourism industry to ascertain the impact as it relates to Hurricane Beryl and what it has done to the agriculture industry. The southern parishes in particular have been badly hit, so there is an expectation that there will be definitely shortages of key vegetables and fruits, lettuce, cauliflower, also melon, cantaloupe, cucumber, and of course other fruits. We're doing our assessments to see how vast of an impact there has been, but we do expect shortages in the coming days and weeks.
Mr. Seavright is anticipating that the necessary effort will be made to ensure the continued supply of livestock and vegetables to hotels as the local farming community recovers.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries have been very proactive in also doing their own assessment, and we expect that they will implement measures that will, at the very least, stabilize the supply of important fruits and vegetables in the short term until our farmers are able to get back up to speed. In terms of time frames, based on what we have picked up from the agriculture sector, we expect that in 3 to 4 months, the situation will level off, certainly for a number of key vegetables and so on.
Mr. Seavright says the relevant tourism stakeholders are still contemplating possible alternatives to ease the concerns.
The JHTA and other sector interests are doing their assessments, and they will get back to us in a few days at the very least as it relates to what corrective measures could be put in place to at least ease the concern over the coming weeks and months until the local agriculture sector can get back up to speed and regularize supplies.
Shalois Michael for Nationwide News.
For perspective on the damage, we're being joined by co-founder of Biggs Grow Nature Fresh Farms, Vivian Biggs, and we're due to be joined as well by lead farmer and technical director at the Treasure Beach Hydroponic Farmers, Hopeton Singh. Ms. Biggs, good morning to you.
Good morning to you and to the wider Jamaican community.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Nationwide this morning. Ms. Biggs, you're in northern Clarendon?
Yes, we are located in Mason River. That's above Kelly. That region, the Bullet Mountain region.
Mm-hmm. And talk to us this morning about your farm, what's on your farm, and how you were affected by the hurricane.
My farm, personally, I had hot pepper, the Scotch bonnet pepper, and lettuce, cabbage, sweet potato. For me, to be honest, the pepper got more damage than the other stuff where it was located. But I actually reaped just before the storm to maintain that level, and I had put in the proper protocol in the sense that to help with the water. But I still lost because on the hillside, that was really good, but on the flat, that's where the damage occurred.
And you said your peppers were on the flat?
No, not on the flat, but because of the breeze and the trees.
Mm. And what sort of damage are you looking at in relation to a price tag?
Okay, I lost my greenhouse and the damage to the pig pen. The top completely left. This morning we're going to restructure.
Mm. Were pigs in the pen at the time of Beryl?
Yes, I have 13 piglets and 3 mothers.
All the pigs are...
They are okay. Yes, they are.
Okay. So you lost you said some of your peppers in your farm.
Peppers and the lettuce. I was doing a program for St. Jago Farm Store for Denby to some lettuce, and that program with Mr. Roberts, and that actually went under.
Mm-hmm. And now where you sit, based on the damage that you've suffered, will this impact you being able to provide some of your produce to the hotel sector or others that you may be providing supplies to?
In minimal amounts. The reason being most tourists actually left, and they actually leave. So the house count is very low.
Mm-hmm. So, are you able to put a price tag yet, Miss Biggs, on your loss?
Actually, to be honest, the RADA personnel, they came out, and they went and did assessment. Yeah, So it is that, because it's two sections of farm. One is within my husband do the bog hole area, and that area went completely under. So that is more devastating than actually here, because the water channels is from Trelawney, Manchester. All that water come and deposit in bog holes.
And what was washed away?
Cabbage, lettuce, just about everything. People out there lost a whole lot. There's a gentleman out there, he does like 3 acres of Dasheen, and he lost it.
Yeah.
Because Dasheen love water, but it has to grow in water.
Yeah.
Not on dry land.
Yeah, can't grow on dry land, right.
Yeah.
Hopetown Singh, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, man. Tell us about your losses.
Okay, well, we have 2 operations. One at Beacon in the vicinity of Treasure Beach, and we have one at Middlesex in the vicinity of Holland Bamboo.
Hold on, Hopetown. Before you go further, tell us what's hydroponic farming, just so my listeners are in step with us on the conversation.
So, hydroponics, the word itself means water at work, and basically we're growing vegetable crops, mostly tomatoes, peppers, limited leafy greens in a hydroponic solution. For tall vine crops, we need to physically anchor the plants, and for the leafy greens, we use what you call an NFT system that basically uses no growing medium. We just circulate water through NFT channels, nutrient film technique channels. But we're using a Dutch bucket system with perlite as a growing medium to grow tall vine crops. We also use a trough system with coconut coir to grow bell peppers.
So whereas a traditional farmer puts these things in the ground and puts some vines and sticks for the vines to run on, your thing is highly scientific.
Well, yeah, it's scientific. I don't know about highly.
Well, Hopetown, compared to just putting it into the ground, what you're talking about,
it's
NFT and this channel and Dutch bucket and all these things, it's science. It's an upgrade. But we're not. It's a minor.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, what did you lose? Tell us now. Yeah.
Okay, so on one location we lost about 50% of our sidewalls, and we have 2 greenhouses at the Holland Bamboo Middlesex location. We lost about 50% of one of our sidewall and 50% of the roof on a smaller greenhouse. That may be a testament to our preparedness, because we had done some repairs. It could also be, a testament once again to the design of the structure and the level of construction, the attention to details that we put into it. Or we could just, have gotten lucky, or it probably was our geographical location. The Treasure Beach / Beacon operation, however, wasn't so lucky. We lost 30,000 square feet of greenhouse space flat on the ground.
Whoa.
So the entire operation is destroyed.
And hold on again, Hopetown, before we take the break. When you say 30,000 feet, again, I want everybody in on the conversation to have an idea. Give me that relative to the size of a football field.
Okay, it's almost 3/4 of an acre.
Yeah.
Right. So, but it's intensive production. So, 30,000 square feet. The yields you get from 30,000 square feet or 3/4 of an acre would probably be 5 times as much as conventional field farming.
Yeah.
All right.
Hold the line there for us, Hopetown. Stay where you are, Vivian. We're going to come right back. We're talking to farmers who have a job on their hands to get back to where they were pre-burial, because burial really did a number on them. More after these.
Give up every illegal gun. Call the police at 119 or Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Ministry of National Security is
7:32.
Attention engine enthusiasts in Jamaica. Did you know that Lucalza Caribbean is the only authorized distributor of Chevron lubricants? Lucalza has been the trusted partner for Chevron lubricants in Jamaica for over 13 years, offering the full range of Chevron and Texaco products including Ursa, Haviland, Supreme, Delo and more. For peace of mind and superior engine care, trust the Chevron lubricants portfolio, distributed by Lucalza Caribbean and their network of reliable resellers. Don't compromise your engine performance. Drive with Chevron. Drive with confidence.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
I pursue opportunities.
I prepare for opportunities.
I plan for opportunities.
With Sagicor e-Invest, you can prepare, plan for and pursue IPO opportunities. Browse IPOs, review IPO details and prospectuses. Select and apply for a featured IPO.
IPO.
With Sagicor e-Invest. Think wealth. Visit sagicor.com.
With so much to do in one location, make Megamart your one-stop shop. Pick up your groceries and houseware needs, grab a bite and pay some bills. Fill your prescriptions and see the beauty products in our pharmacy. All in one amazing location. My Megamart, the best value by far.
Treatment for drinking water. Following the passage of Hurricane Beryl, members of the public are reminded to treat their drinking water before consumption. Water can be treated by boiling or adding bleach. Here are some tips to help you. For boiling water, water that is boiled for treating should be heated until it comes to a rolling boil, where bubbles continuously come to the surface of the water. Allow water to boil for 1 minute. Cover and let cool. Store water in a clean, covered container. For adding bleach, you may also add 3% or 5% household bleach, not bulk bleach, to treat drinking water. Add 2 drops of bleach to 1 quart of water. Mix well and leave for 30 minutes before drinking. For further information, please contact the Health Emergency Operations Center at 888-1-LOVE. That's 888-663-5683.
Welcome back. We're talking to farmers who've been impacted by Beryl. We have with us lead farmer and technical director at Treasure Beach Hydroponic Farmers, Hopton Singh, and co-founder of Biggs Grow Nature Fresh Farms, Vivian Biggs. Vivian, based on what the damage that your husband and yourself have suffered at your farm, how long before you get back on your feet?
At first, we actually wait until the water properly resides. Because the water level in that area, it hasn't drained.
The water still hasn't drained from Wednesday?
Yeah, it hasn't drained.
Yeah.
And it's soggy, so you can't really, because the earth is soft.
Yes.
So you can't really enter that area. But in my area and surrounding area, actually the location where I am now speaking to you on the radio is that after we haven't received light yet either, and there's no phone signal. We have to go certain place to get a pickup.
So where are you now currently? Where are you now?
I'm in Maester River, but I'm at a location where the signal is much higher for me to speak to you.
Yes.
But we have no phone signal. The flow line is completely down.
Mm-hmm.
It's only digital at some location.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually looking at my neighbor farm. He has about 40 greenhouses.
Yes.
And they're all ripped up. He's the major farmer here in the area. He actually do the KFC with the coleslaw. That is actually made within my zone here.
Yes.
So Vivian, for him, he had cabbage in his greenhouses?
He had cabbage and on the land, and he lost. He reaped some, but he got a major blow, millions.
Mm-hmm. So all right. So when I ask
if
about,
I could ask George, Vivian, if she could give us a wider picture of Clarendon, what have you been hearing from all of the farmers in Clarendon?
Okay, you have a farmer below me because he's more on the flat. He do the ILO supermarkets. That's Daniel Henderson. His farm was completely saturated. His greenhouse has been ripped. So the area in itself, you have places that I took photos of, and they actually just the residue, the water is just about to leave here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it has to be apart from the bananas and that. We still give God thanks because we have house damage like roofing and all of that. But the farm itself, because we actually do most perishable products within this zone, which is the cabbage, the lettuce, the pak choy, and we have people who actually do hard food.
Hard what?
Hard food. We call it hard food.
Oh, hard food.
Yam.
Yeah, man.
Things like that, yes.
But right now, I want to hear, Vivian, based on, so if the water drains by, say, today's what, Thursday, if the water drains by Sunday, putting it up, giving you a few days, what do you assess will be the time that you'll need to get back into production?
To get back in production, it will take another 2 weeks or thereabout to get the land pre-prepped. You have to remember that because the land is soggy, manual labor is very expensive. So for a tractor to go in, it can't work.
Mm-hmm.
We have to get some amount of sunlight to get back that arch. Do you understand?
Yeah, man. So rather than a tractor, you're gonna have to put man and woman with fork to plow.
Yes.
And about how many people would you need?
He actually used, Mr. Biggs actually used 25 people between drivers, and because he actually do about 13 hotels. We do Moon Palace, Bahia, Principe, Secret.
So the question then, Vivian, if you can't meet your usual orders, because clearly now you're affected meeting your orders, do you have a relationship with your client, your customers, to say, well, understand what happened?
Yeah. The other thing that actually worked in his favor, it's not the hotel season. We actually start hotel season the 15th of March to the 15th of April.
Yes.
It's always been a trickle down within in the summer months.
Okay, understood. So in other words, if there was a right time for this thing to happen, it's now.
Yes.
Understood. Hopetown, in terms of the road forward, how long before you are in a position to start normal production again?
In a couple of weeks. I mean, the minor repairs, we can get it done fairly rapidly. Treasure Beach, however, like I said, I can't even speculate on how long that's gonna take. I mean, it's a complete disaster. It's twisted metal and plastic flopping in the breeze. It's a complete teardown. Yesterday and the day prior, I was over there trying to do some salvaging efforts. And it's not just the greenhouse, you know. I mean, we got workers who live in the vicinity who are devastated. They've lost their roofs. and their lives are turmoil too. It's just a complete devastation in the south part of St. Elizabeth here. You walk and you get this feeling of despair. It's like a war zone. To rebuild those 3 greenhouses, it's right now I am looking at about a 6-month period because it's actually stripping them down, disassembling them, straightening out twisted metal. Or we had 30,000, we may not be able to build back a 30,000 square foot greenhouse. Maybe a greenhouse half the size from what we've salvaged. But the whole process starts over. The grading, the backfill, the construction. I mean, we had somewhere in the vicinity of $18 million in that project when we started up. And now we're back to square one. Our chain link fence has toppled. Even a chain link fence toppled. We spend a lot of money with grading and backfill and construction and putting infrastructure like tanks and containers, shipping containers and all of that stuff. Power. We don't know when we'll get power back in the south side of St. Elizabeth. And there are other farmers who get worse. There's Kingsley Palmer. There's pretty sure Bonnie who are greenhouse farmers in the area who lost up too. So it's hard to speculate about Treasure Beach. It's just
So effectively, you're in salvage mode first, and then you'll see what happens from there because you're not even planning about resuming it.
Yeah, because until we disassemble that greenhouse and sort out the components of that greenhouse, we'll know and make a complete inventory, and we'll know how to proceed. Like I said, it's an arduous operation because the entire greenhouse has been ripped out of the ground. I mean, foundation, anchors, everything.
Yeah. So in terms of insurance, if any, Hopeton, does that exist, and how do you fund the way back?
It's funny you mentioned insurance. Remember, probably 15, 20 years ago, I tried to get crop insurance, and that was, for lack of a better word, wild goose chase.
Yes.
In any event, we don't have crop insurance, so it's just picking up the pieces, and we're resilient. We're farmers, so we'll start from scratch and pick up the pieces and do the rebuilding. We had the minister and some folks from RADA and the Jamaica Bauxite Institute stopped by 2 days ago. JIS was there too, and just to kind of survey the damage, and they promised to assist us in whatever way they can. So I'm anxious to see how that's going to work out. Or I'm pretty sure we'll get some tangible assistance, but it has to be in a timely manner. We have to rebound because yes, it's low tourist season now, but we need to rebuild now so we can get prepared for winter tourist season.
Mm-hmm. And for you, Vivine, did you have any sort of crop insurance? How do you pick up the pieces in terms of funding now?
Crop insurance because we always look at it as an act of nature. But Corporate Jamaica, and I'll explain, I'm also a farm store owner. So I have an interaction with IPRO, actually sell baby chicks for IPRO feeds and all of that. But what they actually do, or what they did the last time, was that when we had that storm, Ivan, they came out and personally used my place, and we actually have an interaction with the farmer. So they did not go to I don't know if they did cooperate to the RADA companies, but what they was hands-on, where they actually meet the people who have this disaster and give them back. That's what they actually do. They give back direct.
Mm-hmm.
IPRO.
Right. So some give back will have to be in the process as well to help farmers who are affected to get back on their feet in somewhere or the other as soon as possible.
To be honest, Mr. Gilbert Colonel from IPRO, and I spoke with Mr. Roberts yesterday, they are family-lating, and because of the jails and that situation right now, they are thinking of what to do first before they actually do anything.
Yeah. Vivian Biggs, Hopeton Singh, all the best. Hope you get back on your feet as soon as possible.
We will.
Yes.
We are resilient people, and we are the farmers of the nation, and we look forward to move back in. We lost, and we continue lost because, with the hotel industry, it's a bidding process. It's a bidding process in the sense that if we are actually selling when we bid, and whatever price it, we have that contract, and we have to carry it out, or else we lose it. We have to.
Yeah.
So it's not only the storm; it's the after effect of the storm and what actually does.
Vivian Biggs, the co-founder of Biggs Grow Nature Fresh Farms, and Hopeton Singh, lead farmer and technical director at the Treasure Beach Hydroponic Farmers. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you.
All right, going to take a break. Sure. Going to take a break and come back with the Works Minister, Robert Morgan.
Listen up, motorists. Speeding burns more gas. So slow down. The life you save may be your own and also that of your loved ones. Slow down. Save lives and money. The time by the Insurance Association of Jamaica is
7:49.
At Hawkeye, our mission is to deliver cutting-edge security solutions to help you keep track of the things you value most.
The temperature by Hawkeye is
30 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 29 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay.
presenting another finalist in the 2024 Jamaica Festival Song Competition.
Hi, this is your VIP, visually impaired professional Kimila Candy Isaacs, and the title of my song is #OneJamaica.
We never give up on God, cause him not give up on we. Out of many we are one, one nation, one family. We activate rising faith and joyfully celebrate one day.
Jamaica Festival 2024.
Eliminate the hassle of managing multiple medications that can be confusing. Thanks to Horton's Pharmacy. Introducing RX Pack, a mobile app available in the App Store and Google Play Store. RX Pack is specially designed for you to order and manage your medications. Download today for free. That's RX Pack for better medication management. Call 876-RX-0-RX-RX or visit our website, hortonsrx.com for more details.
When last you get good bun, you don't know good bun until you have a mother's bakery bun. From you pull open the wrapper and it's soft so till. A sub bun for nice. And from when you take the first bite, love it so till. A sub bun for nice. Beg your piece.
Get your own mother's bakery bun.
I will buy one off you.
Yes, but I will charge a convenience fee.
I will take one. Me too. Mother's bakery buns. A sub bun for nice. Try them today.
Guard against mosquito-borne diseases. Following the passage of Hurricane Beryl, members of the public are reminded to be vigilant in order to prevent mosquito-borne diseases such as dengue. Here are some tips to help you. Search around the home for places where water may have settled and clear them. Use insect repellent containing DEET. Use mosquito nets. Use mosquito destroyer. Put screens on windows and doors. Avoid places with standing water or garbage piles. For further information, please contact the Health Emergency Operations Center at 888-1-LOVE. That's 888-663-5683.
Welcome back to the program. The Works Minister joins us now, Robert Morgan. Good morning, sir.
Hi, George. Is that Tana with you?
Good morning to you.
Hi, good morning to you and your listeners.
Mr. Morgan, before going into your portfolio as Works Minister, I don't think we had you on Nationwide this morning since Beryl. So, want to get from you how your constituency fared.
Well, we had a lot of damage. Places like Rock River really received the brunt. Also, places like Shackleton, the road that is shared between me and MP Stiglitz, which is Cupid to Colonel's Ridge, that is pretty much destroyed. We have had to clear Lime Hall twice because we have 3 fordings there. All 3 of them were washed out. And so yesterday we were there with equipment clearing that. Line Road is gone. There were a lot of landslides in Beckford Crawl to Blackwood. And just generally, a lot of landslides, not just landslides that come on the road, but landslides that cut the road in places like Morant. They have accessibility issues. Plus, we also had roof damage. Many persons received roof damage. Many persons lost livestock. Many persons lost their bananas and their yams and their plants. I was in Mount Erie. All the banana trees are down. Yesterday I was in Crawl River. All the banana trees are down. A lot of persons have called me. They have lost their chicken coops. Their chickens have died. There's a really devastating impact that we've had. And what makes it even worse is when a farmer can go into his farm and cut a banana and sell it for $2,000, $3,000. That provides him income. A lot of my constituents are low-income subsistence farmers. And with the loss of their farms and their ability to just go in the farm and pick something and sell it, it means that it's going to have an impact on their families, on their children, on their ability to send their children to school, on their ability to feed themselves. So it's really challenging. And then even worse, most of the constituency still doesn't have any electricity. Yes, there has been some restitution in sections of Moko, sections of Chapelton and Rock River, but most of Moko doesn't have any electricity. Most of Chapelton and most of Rock River doesn't have any electricity because of down power lines and so on. So it's really challenging for us right now.
And the immediate response in your constituency will be in relation to what aspect of the damage?
Well, the first response that we did was actually providing access, trying to clear roads where people are cut off and they could not come out. The good thing about it is that most people help themselves. A lot of guys of their sort, they came out early, and we then, through the NWA, were able to provide heavy equipment to come and clear some of the major landslides. We've also started distributing subsistence packages. The Ministry of Labour and Social Security was in Whitechapel yesterday, where they provided assistance to communities. I have been to Richmond Park, Mount Erie, Church Valley, supporting the community. I've been to Rock River, supporting the community, sections of Chapelton. And we will continue that support for as long as we need to. The government has provided some resources through the CDF, and we'll be using those resources to assist our residents as best as we can.
And broadly now, you're the Works Minister. You just mentioned in your constituency of North Central Clarendon, a number of roads have collapsed or are damaged. But broadly, what are we looking on this morning in terms of all of our roads that have been damaged, and what is or what will be the response from the government in relation to that?
Well, what you have is about $10 billion worth of damage stretching across most of southern Jamaica. I mean, the north got some damage, but not as bad as southern Jamaica. Places like St. Elizabeth, South St. Elizabeth, St. Elizabeth generally, Manchester generally, Clarendon generally. Places like St. Thomas really got it hard as well. So the Prime Minister toured sections of the island. We've come up with this approach, the REACH program, where we're going to be going into these communities. Prime Minister has also activated DART, which is from the Army, to actually go into these communities and help with the relief efforts. From my side of the government, where I have responsibility, the objective is to try to restore some of these access points. You would realize that before the hurricane, we did do some work in terms of drain cleaning, for example. We're in the Sandy Gully where we're trying to protect the two bridges, but based on the intensity of the hurricane, we realized that though we had made an allocation in the budget, we were planning to use it later down in the year to do some cleaning in the Sandy Gully. But we had to pull that forward, and the Prime Minister has announced that we're going to have to do a major cleanup of the Sandy Gully in terms of looking at the sidewalls and so on. The last time that was done, it was spent about $700 million in 2011 to do that. There are other roads, for example, the access road to Cornwall Courts in Montego Bay. That is gone, split in two because of a fire that was lit in the drain, which destroyed the drain. So we have to look at that. We have to look at the black roads that are in St. Thomas. We have to look at the roads in and around Clarendon from the north to the south that have been damaged and see what we can do quickly to give people some respite. We know that back to school is coming, which is a high traffic period, and we have to make sure that our taxi drivers and our regular residents have reasonable access to their communities and to their businesses. There's going to be a lot of work over the next couple of months in restoring some of the roads. I mean, to be honest with you, it's going to take some time from a work perspective to recover from Beryl, as the devastation was so expansive. We still have places in southern Clarendon that are literally still underwater. And I don't have to tell you about what is going on in St. Elizabeth. I think that has been well chronicled. We still have totally blocked roads in St. Thomas, and then even in St. Andrew in Mrs. Holness's constituency and a small section of Juliet Cuthbert's constituency. You have some serious challenges going on there. But we continue to work, we continue to clear roads, we're going to go into the cleanup phase where the Prime Minister has announced that there will be a cleanup program for the nation coming up. That's something that is very important. And I know that the Ministry of Health is also looking at dealing with issues of vectors such as mosquitoes and so on. It's a whole of government approach, working with Minister Mackenzie from local government, Minister Charles from Labour, the Prime Minister, Minister Vaz working with the utilities and so on. The Prime Minister has established a disaster committee to recover, and we're all a part of it, working together to make Jamaica, to restore Jamaica to what better than what it was before the hurricane.
I must ask Mr. Morgan, so you had estimated a timeline for the commencement of Spark to be about October. Does Beryl and its impact on the network infrastructure affect the commencement of Spark? Will Spark be rolled into how you fix the roads that have been affected by Beryl?
Well, clearly, some of the roads that have come up in the consultations that we've been doing over the last several months. I think we're now at about 30 constituencies, and we're about 300 odd roads that have been suggested by constituents. Some of those roads have been damaged or made worse. So obviously, Spark will address some of those roads. The Spark process continues. We are now at the procurement stage where the enterprise contractors will be bidding on the 4 packages across the island. Their bids are due, I think, late this month to early August. So that process has not been stalled whatsoever. And I suspect that Spark is now more needed than ever based on the damage that Beryl has caused. The government, through the Ministry of Finance and the Prime Minister, will have to make a decision in terms of how we sequence general recovery and Spark. That's a decision that we have to make as a government. But Spark continues. The work will commence as soon as possible. I am pushing for October to have the first equipment put down on the roads and so on. So that continues.
Robert Morgan, the Minister of Works and also the Member of Parliament for North Central Clarendon. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you very much, Tana. Thank you, George. And thanks to your listeners for listening.
Morning.
Gonna take a break and come back with Across Jamaica.
Front Page was brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales. For a better choice in the electrical business.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8:01.
From the mountainside to seaside, countryside to townside, inside and outside, it's Across Jamaica this morning.
Taking you across Jamaica this Thursday morning, I'm Tana Thomas. The Coconut Industry Board says data collected so far suggest that between 5 and 10% of the country's coconut crops have been damaged by Hurricane Beryl. General Manager of the board, Sean Cameron, says his team has been mobilized to go parish by parish in coconut-producing areas to gather data. He says, however, that the damage assessment is hampered by the lack of telecommunications and electricity services in several sections of the country. In the meantime, Mr. Cameron is urging registered farmers, where possible, to contact advisory officers within their region to report damage. He says farmers should provide the number of trees impacted, the size of their farms, and their location. The Jamaica Railway Corporation, JRC, is seeking to commence work on Phase 1 of the tourist train service between Montpellier St. James and Appleton Estate in St. Elizabeth. The work will involve, among other things, track reconstruction, acquisition of trains, and constructing necessary infrastructure along the route. The corporation also plans to kickstart preparations for the launch of passenger and freight train services between Spanish Town and Kingston. Additionally, the company will finalize the rollout of commercial rail service from Bodles Junction to Linstead in St. Catherine, specifically for transporting aggregates. These activities form part of the JRC's programmed continuation this year of strategies targeting the entity's improved positioning to revitalize and expand rail service and optimize its financial performance. Details of the engagements are contained in the Jamaica Public Bodies of Estimates and Expenditure for the fiscal year ending 2024-25. The public is being asked to help locate a 65-year-old St. Thomas man who has been missing since Tuesday. He is Stedman Kelly, a fisherman of Hampton Court, Golden Grove. Mr. Kelly is of dark complexion, slim build, and the Golden Grove police say Kelly was last seen in Golden Grove wearing a red shirt and shorts. He has not been heard from since. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Stedman Kelly is being asked to contact the Golden Grove Police at 876-982-2733. That's 876-982-2733, the 119 police emergency number or the nearest police station. That's it for Across Jamaica.
Upgrade your home or business with Cameron Industries and Joinery Limited. Explore a range of termite-resistant plywood, quartz, solid surface, and granite. Experience timeless elegance with our cedar doors, crafted from premium cedar stock, kiln-dried for durability and beauty. For quality and craftsmanship, visit us at the Trade Center Kingston 10 or Hatfield Mandeville. Call 876-963-0628-30. Cameron Industries and Joinery Limited. Transform your space today.
The best Burger King with the best tasting burger under the sun. You deserve the best. You are number one. Best. Flame grilling, juicy whopper, cause you deserve it. Yeah, next level. Awesome, that's how we serve it. Mama menu done your way. You got the taste rules every day. Flame grilled goodness, you deserve it. Great taste, well done. More flavor, fresh fun. Burger King, best tasting burger under the sun.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. Taking your calls, the number is 630-937-124, 630-937-124, and 618-8255.
I wanted to... Oh, you were saying something?
What were you going to say?
No. One of the YouTubers this morning, when we were talking about the nicknames on the football, one of my friends from that football game, who's in the chat as JJS, he is Jerdane Sterling. You see, you can't remember the man's real name. You know it very well. You go through.
Yeah.
So yeah, you go. Yeah. So I know him as Zaga. Yeah, but Jerdane Sterling. He's from Robert Morgan's constituency. Because it was from the Perennial Child. Yeah, man.
Okay.
So he's from there. He's in the States now. He's been there for a while. He was the best striker in the game, and the game was a very competitive game featuring people who used to play Premier League football, college, played for their universities or their colleges if they studied in the States, others who were just recreational footballers. So it was a very competitive game with highly skilled individuals. He was the best striker. But if you saw him, you wouldn't know. He was like Ricardo's size. Well, the belly never saw, you know?
And Ricardo gonna say, why am I catch straight?
The belly never was 100 like Ricardo, but same build. But yeah, you'd look at him and you'd say, "You can't play, but I can't run."
Yeah.
He was quick and he could shoot with either foot like a cannon.
He was bold.
Yeah, man, and his ball sense, his brain was no matter. He was excellent, and he was a vibes man always. He was the one who came up with most of these nicknames and parody names. He was brilliant and a nice person.
Yeah,
man. So I have a lot of respect for Jerdane Sterling, Zaga, JJS in the chat. Good morning to you, my friend, wherever you are. Much respect every time.
I don't remember which of our YouTubers said as well this morning that her last name is Bell, so they called her either Taco or Taco Bell.
Oh, I have one. Lance Whitaker. You know, I worked with Lance for 7 years. Lance is one of the greatest human beings ever produced. Yeah? Lance said that they have a Woolmer's past students group because he's a Woolmerian. So he said that they had a get-together once in Clarendon and he got a joke there that was just so spectacular. He was talking about a nickname. So he said that the story was told that there was a guy in a community. Jamaicans are notorious for, we make fun of people's sickness, you know. So if you have certain sickness, we give you the nickname of your sickness. And we don't really mean evil, you know, that's just how we are, yeah?
Yes.
So he said this guy had polio. So he ended up where one arm was longer than the other. So he said, GD, guess what the man nickname? So him start laugh uncontrollably. So I said, okay, one arm is longer than the other. What is the nickname? By the time Lance got up off the floor and put on back his glasses and composed himself, he said, GD, the man nicknamed a clock.
Oh, gosh.
God, I laughed him in the dead.
Short hand and long hand. Oh, my goodness. I mean, for him, for the person who is clock, it makes for a great story. Yeah, and he can go and say, well, you know, my name is George Davis and they call me Clock.
How do you accept the nickname?
Because I have one long hand and one short hand.
So, yeah, we're terrible like that, man. We're terrible like that.
Yeah.
Terrible like that. Yeah.
But, yeah, it makes for a great conversation point, and I'm glad the person took it in good spirits.
Clock. Yeah, well, it was classic.
And
answer to the name and own the name.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes people get nicknames and they don't like it, and then they grow to love the nickname, so that when you call them the right name, they look on you weird. Case in point, when we went to high school, one of my friends, he was a very good midfielder. He worked at Heart Trust for a while, but I think he's in Atlanta now. So when I met him, I just started, his name was Jerome, but I just started calling him Pablo. And the man, he hated the nickname. He was so up, and because we saw that he hated, you know how high schoolers are. If you hate a nickname, people will call you more.
Oh, yes.
So every time we say Pablo, the man rebel. And everybody said, oh, Jerome's sensitive to Pablo. So even the girls started calling him Pablo. Till later on, like the next semester after he got the nickname, he said the man and say, oh, Jerome, Pablo, my name.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, embrace it. Yeah, Pablo. Anyway, who do we have, Mish, as we go to the lines? We're waiting to get the calls through.
Clonsey Cuthbert, is this your nickname? I'm even trying to make out. Take it, tell it. Is that, you're seeing that one? Clonsey.
No,
at the very bottom of the chat. Clonsey Cuthbert.
No, man. Oh, yeah. Take it,
take it, tell it.
Take it, tell it. Take it, tell it. Oh, yeah.
Take it, tell it.
So they keep the change. We have Jermaine online. Good morning, Jermaine.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, man.
Me really can't say. Me not try to get shift views over that when him not come answer early.
Mm.
But one time I could have just tell him the same thing what me want to tell him still.
Go ahead, Jermaine.
I don't know what I talk about saying about. What me not call about, you see? Did you sell have a program one day with the Olympic when them give away 28 must 128 TV or 28 TV, something like that. But in order for win a TV, all you have to do is put on service by your phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it lasts from sometime in May to July, June to July. Between June and July, the promotion was going. I can't remember, but I think it finished in July. But what I'm saying is, we don't hear nobody talking about them get a TV, or nobody win a TV, or nothing like that. So, me I wonder if all of them program with them advertise, it's just scam for people.
No, man. They're not scams at all. No, man. Mm-mm.
Because me, they want a TV, they can barely match.
Did you enter the competition?
Huh?
Did you enter the competition?
Yeah, you buy a credit, and from last year, me I put on.
Let me ask you a question. How many million customers do you think Digicel have?
Whole heap.
Exactly, and you are one of whole heap. Then if you don't win, what that mean? That don't mean the competition is a bogus. No, man, they win these things, man.
No one speak about, hear them come out and say that person win another person win another person win another one about that.
Well, here's what you could do. You can call 100 at Digicel and put it to them. Ask them to tell you where you can go to find a list of the winners or see pictures, because they know they do promotional opportunities with these winners all the time, because that's a part of the appeal of them doing these competitions. So I am certain as night follows day that it's a legitimate competition and that the people are winning stuff. Not bogus, man. Not scam at all. You just salt, Jeremy.
Call 100 to find out then.
Call 100 and they will tell you. Go to customer care and tell them you want to, and they'll assist you.
When me call them and me not find out, me I go down and
No, you don't have to go down. If you call him and don't get through, call me back and I'll give you Elon Parkinson's number. You can ask him.
All right.
Yeah, man. Cool. Dwayne, good morning.
Morning, sir. How are you? Good morning to the both of you.
We're good, man.
Yeah, me today I'm good. I'm enjoying life.
We'll try.
Are you talking about nicknames?
Yeah, man. Why your nickname?
I ain't calling nickname, I ain't calling nickname afterward. You come like them no one, but you have to remember your name as you rightly say. But sometimes it's good. Sometimes when that happens, sometimes when people want to know your name, they don't even know your right name. So sometimes it works good to you. But as you said, many times when you work with the nickname, sometimes you hate it and then afterward you just say, yo, if you don't want to call me, just call me now.
Yeah.
You think it is prudent that the Prime Minister remove his wife as a speaker? Not that it's bad, but because...
He doesn't have that power. He doesn't have that power. That's the first thing.
He can't do that?
He didn't appoint her. The Parliament voted for her. The whole Parliament, to a man and a woman, and there was no dissenting voice.
You know why I say that? There's nothing wrong with it, you know. I don't think I'm against it. I'm not saying that every little thing that happens now is because of his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Recognize? And you know what kind of bother me? Them say when you want to hide anything from people or Jamaican or black people, you put in a book.
Yeah, well, anybody, white or black, yeah.
People don't read, you know?
Yes.
Me say Jamaicans don't read. They listen every little foolishness on YouTube. When they hear from people and then it becomes law. They don't read.
Yeah.
Because if you just read, and go back, sometimes I bring up some parts and people say, where you get that from?
Yeah.
You can go do your research.
Yeah. You know, it's funny you say that. Do you know that a minister will stand in Parliament and present something to the public, to the nation, and somebody will hear that and say, okay. Then they go on YouTube and say, such man, come on, sit down in one like a Frownzy room and say, boy, that a lie because so and so and so. And they believe that man and don't believe the minister, you know?
You know what? All right. You know, I said to my teacher a few years ago, I said, a person who born in Manchester is not called a Manchesterian. She said, where you get it from? And when I tell her I'm a Korean, she said, What that?
Mancunian, yeah, man.
Yeah, McEwen, yeah. I spell it for her and say, no, I don't believe that. I'm Mr. Look here. And that's why in the book of Psalms 119, verse 95 to 98, it says that when you know the law, when you do the things properly, you know more than if you're a teacher.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, man.
Wisdom come from book.
I said this to you as you talk about that though. Just to give you some information. In the parliament, the speaker is the most powerful individual, far more powerful than a prime minister or opposition leader. Remember that. So Mr. Holness in his capacity as prime minister, even if he could, he could not touch the speaker because her position in the parliament is superior to his.
Absolutely. Okay.
All right? Good. All right.
I learned something.
All right, sir.
But I didn't say it because I think that it is wrong. I just say
no, man, I understand what you're saying. You don't have to explain. I understand. I understand you. No problem. All right?
You said one more thing.
Yeah, quickly.
The Integrity Commission.
Yeah.
Quickly. You just give me the same. Give me the same info that you give me about how powerful are they that nobody oversee them. Who oversee them?
The parliament. The parliament.
I can dismantle this again.
The parliament oversees them, man. Remember, you have an integrity commission oversight committee in the parliament, and so the parliament does that with Delroy Chuck and Julian Robinson and Everett Warmington. The committee is chaired by Ed Bartlett. No, so
right.
Yes, yeah, man. So there's the parliament oversees them.
But Judge, can they remove them? Can something be done?
Yeah, people have contracts, People have contracts and terms in office. People have contracts and terms in office, and terms come to an end. So there's a natural cycle for them to end.
How long will the term be?
Is it 5 or 7 years? Maybe
5
one of the
years?
two. Yeah, I think so.
So when it ends?
Now after 5 years.
So when you don't know the day when it starts and when it will end?
No, I don't. I can search that for you and tell you.
I can search that. I'll let me know because
All
I
right.
think that they have no more integrity to speak to anybody of Jamaica again.
All right, no problem.
Too much ups and downs.
No problem.
Become like water unstable. They're unstable.
Yeah.
God bless you. Thanks.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
We're going to start up this nickname finally because,
I see the chats.
There are
so many of them. Jamarcus is saying, my nickname given to me by my grandmother was Bramble because of how I used to blaze up, meaning cry, in the morning as a baby.
I'll give you this one. I'll give you this one as I go to the break. There was a girl in our community when we were children. So they used to tease her that her eyes were big.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a program that used to come on TVJ. So one boy one morning saw her going to the shop and called her that nickname, and even the adults laughed, and the nickname was stuck on the poor girl who said that they say her eye was big. You know what the nickname was? Ion Sports.
Oh, wow. I don't know what to say. Ion Sports. Oh my goodness. Wow. Did she eventually take it in good spirits, or she hated that name? Oh my goodness. No. I probably wouldn't embrace that one as a judge. I probably wouldn't embrace that one. Ion Sports.
King, you know the sports program at TVJ, Ion Sports? So there was a girl in our community. They used to tease her and say, "I am big," and they used to call her Ion Sports. God, break them up.
Wow.
Crisp and refreshing. Room temperature or chilled. A pure water would drink. The time by Pure Water is
8:21.
This summer, transform your summer body with Express Fitness Gym. For just $9,500 on AutoPay, you'll get access to all our locations 24/7. Enjoy free classes, fully air-conditioned facilities, showers, and changing rooms. Plus, our certified trainers are here to help you reach your goals. Visit Express Fitness Gym today. Your goal is our mission. Find a location near you or sign up now at pay.expressfitnessja.com.
Data Protection Matters is brought to you by Design Privacy. We help you comply and build trust.
Welcome to another episode of Data Protection Matters, powered by Design Privacy here on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm your host, Chantal Thompson. We have here with us Chuck Cameron, founder of Design Privacy and data privacy expert. Welcome, Chuck.
Hi, Chantal.
Right. So last week we spoke about navigating data protection during natural disasters, and as promised, this episode will be discussing what does a DPO office look like, or what does setting up your DPO office looks like. Chuck, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Chantal. First thing, are you going to appoint someone in-house or appoint an external entity to serve as your DPO? That's the first decision we have to make. Setting it up in-house does require someone who is suitably trained and someone who sits high enough in the organization to be able to take executive type decisions, or not necessarily take executive type decisions, but give recommendations that have the ear of the persons who make those decisions. That's the first thing. And very often, is in rare occasions, do we see someone, a C-suite member, transitioning from a vice president to a DPO. That's in the rare occasion. What we often see happening, and this may not be the best approach, is that a lower level manager may be appointed as a DPO. That in and of itself gives some challenges because he does not have an existing rapport with the board, for example. It is going to be difficult for them to transition from reporting 2 levels up to now being that report that actually reports to the CEO or the board. So when thinking about appointing someone, ensure that the person is suitably placed in the organization to give the sort of direction and advice that's necessary. Having identified who that is, you then need to ensure that they are suitably trained. There are a number of training options. Mona School of Business offers some training. There is a CIPP training that's readily available. I understand that UCC is offering training, but they must be suitably trained, and there are training opportunities that exist. Design Privacy has an e-learning course specifically suited for data protection officers that they can partake in.
So I've gotten a lot of questions on our, Design Privacy page to say that, I've done the DPO course, but it's more of, I know the act, but I still don't know what exactly to do. What are, for example, to do a DPIA, some of the tools that we need, some of the resources that we need, some of the formats that we need. How do I set up if a data subject requests something, how do I do that?
So that is understandable. None of the courses that are currently being offered teach you the practical implementation. So Design Privacy has taken a lot of time to solve that problem. So we solve that problem in 2 ways. One, we have an accelerator program where we actually have you work, where we train you on our existing tools and methodologies, and we actually have you sit down with real life clients and get real life experience under our guidance and tutelage. The other issue, or the other opportunity we have created, is we have created our open DPO community. In this open DPO community, you do have access to all the tools that are necessary to effect your job as a DPO. You do get support from other DPOs and experts in the community, as well as a number of training opportunities on our e-learning platform. So we really have looked at that, identified that gap, and have tried to fill that gap. Now, going back to the organization choosing whether or not it's going to be an internal DPO or an external DPO. Reasons why you may want to consider an external DPO officer is that person should bring vast experience and expertise to the table. if it is you're going to be outsourcing it, ensure you get the benefit of that experience and expertise, because it is in setting up the office and training your staff, implementing or overseeing the implementation of your processes, that you will be able to lean on that expertise and experience. If it is you just want somebody to be a DPO and roll out a program over a long period of time, that is when you do it in-house. But if you want to quickly go up that learning curve and get over those initial hurdles that inevitably there will be, you do want an experienced team or individual to give you that type of support.
So realistically, is there a specific timeline to have a full DPO setup? How long does it take? What are the requirements?
What's the timeline? The timeline was June 1.
I mean, how long does it take to be fully up and running?
So to be fully up and running, there are a number of things that you need to do. You'd have had to register with the Office of the Information Commissioner. That would have taken a minimum of 6 months to get your house in order.
Oh, wow.
Then you have to develop your policies and procedures. And having developed your policies and procedures, you have to implement them. That again takes a minimum of 6 months if it's going to be done with any sort of effectiveness or intentionality behind it. So minimum 1 year to put yourself in a position to register, 6 months to put yourself in a position to register, and another 6 months to implement the processes. It is after that the DPO role or office comes into play.
Okay.
Because the DPO is now required to ensure that that procedure or policies that you'd have implemented are actually complied with.
Okay.
Before that, it would be more consultancy work that you'd require to help set up or stand up the office or stand up the organization. So 1 year before the DPO can start discharging its functions.
All right, so that was some good information, Chuck, on setting up your DPO office. But what does the organizational structure looks like? Who reports to who?
So thank you for that question, Chantal. Part of setting up your office is looking at the roles and responsibilities and reporting nature or structure of the organization. Importantly, remember last week we have said that DPO must be independent.
Yes.
For the DPO to be independent, he must sit immediately below the CEO. That's an ideal position from a reporting perspective. In addition to where he sits in the organization, he should have access to the board to give effect to issues that he observes. That's one aspect. Equipping the DPO with the relevant tools, the relevant budget is also very important. It's not just a matter of appointing someone. If they have to oversee the implementation of a program, they may, for example, have to purchase training solutions. They may have to purchase relevant tools. So ensuring that the office, just like any other office in your organization, is suitably equipped with the requisite resources, namely personnel if necessary, dependent on the size of your organization, and finances and tools, critical and something that ought not to be overlooked. It's not just a matter of saying you are the DPO. How does the DPO then give effect to his responsibilities? So it must be suitably equipped with a budget and requisite resources.
Okay, so I'm not sure if it's black and white, but could we say the DPO reports to the CEO and the DPO reports to the Information Commissioner, DPO reports to the board?
So DPO reports to the CEO, has access to the board, and is answerable and interacts with the Office of the Information Commissioner.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of this episode on setting up your DPO office. Join us on next episode as we talk about what does my day-to-day look like as a DPO. For more information on how to gather your registration particulars or how Design Privacy can get this done for you, email us at info@designprivacy.io. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at design_privacy and also connect with us on LinkedIn at Design Privacy. Stay informed and stay secure.
Data Protection Matters is brought to you by Design Privacy. We help you comply and build trust.
The Jamaica Observer is always ahead. But did you know we're also number one by far? With over 18 million page views on our website, over 800,000 followers on Instagram, and a following of over 500,000 followers on Twitter.
We're tapping into an audience like no other.
And the numbers don't lie. Contact the Jamaica Observer team today to reach your target audience. Give us a call at 470-9172 to advertise with us.
The number one by far.
Your food tastes the best, it's true. And your food brings the best out of you. Tasty meals packed with style, satisfying, makes you smile. Cream rises to the top, it's true.
Your Foods. Sour cream and cream cheese spreads in supermarkets island-wide. Make your best even better.
Share in the experience at Fontana Pharmacy. We have a wide variety of items in store just for you. Fill your prescriptions while you shop. And senior citizens enjoy 10% off. Shop household, cosmetics, toys, and many other departments. We also offer curbside pickup and delivery. Visit our website at fontanapharmacy.com. Fontana Pharmacy, where it's all good inside.
Roxy's online. Good morning, Roxy.
Good morning, George.
Yes, sir. Morning.
Good morning, Tanya, and good morning to all your listeners.
Morning to you.
And good morning to Cliff, Mr. Hughes, of course. Judge, I am taken aback in respect of how you handled the situation yesterday, more so you, more than Tanya, with the Integrity Commission yesterday morning. I listened carefully, and I know the rage that you come out against the Integrity Commission report.
Rage.
And even when Miss Calder came on, and let me hear up both her and the other lady that was there.
Daniel Archer.
Yes. She came out and she pointed out some section of the report that you should take a note of. You tend to spin it and put it in the way you want to.
Spin it.
And now, the Integrity Commission came out and they made clarity of what transpired. They heard and the approach you take yesterday morning when you cut out all certain things that were supposed to be said, right? Because you want to get at the Integrity Commission. And I said to myself, but how can a radio station want to get at a commission that is put in place to deal with such one great interest and important issue like corruption and these things? No, I'm saying they are human. And let me hail every single member, past and present, of the Integrity Commission, because it's not an easy task, you know. Especially when you attack the politician or attack certain people, you know. It's not an easy task. So they have an uphill task. And they have what to guide them.
But I don't understand what you're saying about rage.
Hold on.
But you've been talking a long time. But go on.
Let me shorten something. I would expect to say to you, to hear you this morning come out and say, look, this is based upon what happened yesterday morning and how the Integrity Commission come out and explain themselves. I want to say to the listener, I was wrong in doing this. I was saying this.
Wrong in doing what?
Wrong in doing
what? Wrong in doing what?
You did not say you were wrong. Because
in doing what? Yeah.
Two more persons.
Oh, so that's what you're talking about. All right. Hold on. All right.
And
your credit. So if you call, if you just talk to me and not have a conversation, you can go ahead, you know. But if you want to have a conversation, I would ask you to just let me respond to you.
Judge, I'm going to tell you something. When we pick up, and I'm an average listener of Nationwide, There are many times when persons come on and they are speaking on your line, your side. It's okay for them to behave and go on anywhere, and you don't bring in certain things. When somebody is opposing to you or someone else on Nationwide, they tend to want to tell you this, go on, got that. No, you can't stop me with the so desire judge. No problem. No problem. So I'm going to stop now and let you speak.
No, I know you are stop and let me speak. I'm saying to you, if you call to rant, then not a problem. But if you call first of a conversation, then it's a different thing.
It is a conversation.
So you want to have a conversation, all right? So I can respond to what you've said now.
It is a conversation.
All right. So here's the thing. First of all, I disagree with you that I treated the Integrity Commission with rage. I did not. What I was interrogating was what the ladies said before the report was published, and trying to reconcile that position against what I believe to be new and better particulars in this report, and trying to hold them to what they had said before. Because if you noticed, in the interview, Daniel Archer was given space to give her impressions on the report itself in a vacuum. Then Jeanette Calder was afforded the same courtesy. The interview really got competitive when I said, oh, you said this then, what is your stance now? You said that then, what is your stance now? And when they were saying, well, we're not changing our mind, I was challenging them on the basis of them not changing their mind. So at no stage did you hear me attack the report. Now, onto the issue of the number of people. You see all I've got to do? Gleaner published 2. We published 2. Jeanette called yesterday to count and get 15. She said 13 plus 2, 15. Other people count and get other number. The Integrity Commission clarified to say 8. So I don't know who was wrong or right. In my view, the Integrity Commission ought to have put into the report that which it added as a clarification in a press release, clearly after listening to the discussion that we had yesterday morning. Now, to a man and a woman who I spoke to after the program, they said, well, it would have helped if the commission had put that in the thing the first place, because it was left up to interpretation. Do you know, my friend, if you have an issue on the discussion, and if you have 15 lawyers in the room, and the 15 lawyers are paid by different interest groups to go and represent them, you're going to likely get 15 different opinions, you know. So it's not like you can say, oh, a lawyer says so and so, so it is right. No. So based on the way the report was published and the fact of the numbers used in the table, a reasonable person could draw the conclusion that you're talking about 2 people now under the gun of illicit enrichment investigation. The commission issued a statement to clarify that actually what we're talking about is 6 plus 2 equals 8, which they did not say in the report. So different people came up with different numbers. So I don't know how you come by to say I was attacking the commission.
George, I'm going to say this, George. If a report comes out and the media does not understand it or does not get clarity on it, they should not come out so hard against that report or the person.
There was no lack of understanding on the part of the media. The thing was straightforward, and the media interpreted it in a particular way.
I don't think it's Nationwide called the commission and to say, is it 2 more?
Well, here's the thing. Sir, hold on. No. You hold on. Yeah, man, again. Because when you're talking foolishness, I have to straighten it out.
Okay.
The Integrity Commission, listen. The Integrity Commission is not an office that you can call to clarify anything. They say they're not answering you. That's the first thing. And if you understood how the commission work, you wouldn't say that nonsense. That's first thing. Then, the way the report was written, a reasonable man could draw the conclusion that 2 different media houses and other people who understand these things drew the same conclusion. You never said that. I'm filling in the gap because, and you're right, you didn't say it, so I'm saying it because it needs to be said. So I'm saying, if you know how the Integrity Commission works, and the people who listen to this station and the reports we carry about the Integrity Commission know that the Integrity Commission is not somewhere you can, it's not like the DPP's office or any of the other offices, other commissions of Parliament where you can call and seek clarification. They're not giving it to you. Did you not hear Jeanette Calder say yesterday? Did you not hear Jeanette Calder say yesterday that she, you heard her what? What did you hear?
She said she wrote them.
Right. And they said what?
Get it.
Thank you very much. Yes, the way you said no.
Okay. All I'm saying is that it's a don't get it. they can't to chastise them till they have.
No man, but well, I know you know. Work with me now. Listen to what I say. Do you realize and do you disagree that the clarification they issued in the press release could have come in the annual report? You not agree with that?
Yes.
Then no we are quarrel. What we are quarrel for then? What are we quarreling about?
No. What I'm saying this morning.
Yes.
You did not come back and let the listeners know that there's clarity to it. And
but we read the report yesterday. We read the release yesterday.
No. This is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
If I wasn't listening yesterday,
yeah.
may I listen this man as I was listening yesterday morning.
Yeah.
So you know that you have a different listenership.
No man, no. Me not have the different listenership. Hold on. The best thing you can do.
Clarification was given during the program.
Exactly. Look, listen, it's not like you know what some people would have done, Roxy. Some people would have because they don't want to be wrong. Because people who occupy radio platforms like we do, or TV platforms, they behave as if they are God's gift to communication and journalism, so they've never wrong yet. So they hide away in situations where their opinion is credibly challenged or where they got it patently wrong, as they use the Integrity Commission's language. Nationwide's policy is, once you get it wrong, apologize and move on immediately. And if you make a mistake in the 7 o'clock news, you correct it in the 7 o'clock news. We were on the air talking and carrying a certain line. The Integrity Commission issued a clarification, fresh on the phone. When I saw it, Tana hadn't even seen it yet. And of course, to be fair to us, we're on air. We saw it and read it immediately.
Hold on.
We never try hide it.
I did not read it, you know.
What?
Hold on. All I'm saying, this morning,
Just
the
Christ.
judge that I'm speaking about should come this morning and say, look.
Why would I do it this morning when I did it yesterday? Why would I do it this morning when I did it yesterday?
To those listeners that might not have heard the release, that so and so and so and
Do you know that there are listeners who are not hearing this conversation now?
Yes.
So I should come back tomorrow and invite you again at this time to have the conversation so that they can hear it?
Nationwide doing these things from time to time.
What?
I listen to Nationwide doing these things from
No,
time to time.
that's not true. Nationwide, unlike any other media house.
Judge, if
Nationwide, unlike any other media house, when there is information from a Nationwide,
Judge, I'm going to quote you on this, Judge. Judge, you will say some of our listeners might not have heard it, so let me just bring it out there. What them? You will say those things.
And I'm saying to you, listen, what you're saying, you're drawing a false equivalence. What I'm saying to you is this: at any given time, there is a listener who didn't hear something. I can't repeat. So what that means is, hold on. What that means is this. What that means is this. What that means is this. Wait no man. Wait no. What that means is this. What that means is this. I should repeat the program that we did this morning, because just in case there were people who didn't hear it this morning, them can hear it tomorrow.
Just the clarity that flick up section there.
But what I'm saying, we issued the clarification yesterday.
No.
Did you hear Did you hear Roxy? Hold on, man. Listen.
What's on your mind?
Did you?
What's on your mind to come deal with it now?
Did you hear the clarification yesterday?
Yes.
So if you hear it, what's your problem?
My problem is that this morning others who want to.
How you know others never hear? Which survey you did? Who tell you? What mechanism did you use to determine that nobody else heard? You heard.
Don't get specific now.
I'm not specific, me I get. I'm being sensible. You heard it. You have done no survey. You did no research. Yet you're going to tell me that there are people who didn't hear. How many people ever heard? How many people didn't hear?
I don't know, but I know there are a lot of persons.
You don't know what you know that there's a lot.
In fact, George, I can tell you, I have a team of persons who listen to the program one time and gone to work.
Listen. There's a leprechaun in a green hat at the end of a rainbow with a pot of gold. Check him for me.
In fact, George, I have a set of people who listen nationwide at the morning time, go straight up to the...
You have a set of people, so they told you they didn't hear. Then why you never tell them? If you hear, why you never tell them? Why you never tell them?
George, we have discussion about nationwide all the while. And you know that,
you undermine your own argument.
You know that these things happen, George.
No, sir. You say you heard. You say you did no survey, so you don't know who didn't hear. Yet you are quarreled with me for not repeating it.
We talk about
that
me, you, and whoever might hear.
That don't make sense. That don't make sense.
I know everybody ever hear
we keep telling all the while. Part of the problem with this country, is that everybody thinks thinks they can do the journalist work better than the journalist. Here's what you do. Look in the mirror and have the conversation with yourself, because you don't have a conversation with me.
And we need to give them the space.
Look in the mirror, have the conversation with yourself, because you don't have a conversation with me. And I don't know who it is that you told that watch me call the radio station and go on now. So what you're doing is performing, you know. This is not a conversation, you know. This is a performance. This is a performance. In your mind, you are on a stage at the Little Theatre.
No.
In your mind, you are on a stage in leotards at the Little Theatre. Have a good morning, Roxy.
Your side.
Have a good morning.
It's not about support.
Have a good morning. Big up. We could talk to the cows come home. The man say he heard, but he knows that people didn't hear, even though he did no checks. That makes sense to anybody?
Make a plan to stay on top of your mortgage. Stick to it. Pay on time. The time by the NHD is
8:48.
The Birthday Club is brought to you by Burger King, the best tasting burger under the sun.
For a while there it was rough, but lately I've been doing better than the last 4 cold Decembers I recall. And I see my family every month. I found a girl my parents love. She'll come and stay the night, and I think I might have it all. And I thank God every day for the girl He sent my way. But I know the things He gives me, He can take away. And I hold you every night, and that's a feeling I wanna get used to. But there's no man as terrified as the man who stands to lose you. Oh, I hope I don't lose you. Please stay. I want you, I need you, oh God. Don't take these beautiful things that I've got. Please.
So tell them, what you say again now? So we said it yesterday, we read the press release live. It came in the news at 12. It came in the news at 5.
And
the
then
story is posted
published
online. And the gentleman still a quarrel. Say, yeah, the man have me up. Man got in bed last night.
And then Cliff had an extensive what's on his mind.
With that, about that issue. Just Christ.
Yeah. So you're going to say it today, and then he's going to call back tomorrow and say somebody else didn't hear it, so you should say it
again. Even check if nobody not hear.
No, he did make checks to, George. And you ask him, why didn't you just tell the people that told you they didn't hear it? But okay.
All right.
It's time for birthdays. Celebrating their birthday today. Happy birthday to Philip Perry Jr., a.k.a. Tajay. Happy birthday to you from your mom, Debbie, your grandma, Daphne, your grandpa, Ralph, your auntie, Rochelle, Janelle, Divonay, and Tam Tam. Happy birthday greetings also going out to Greg Stewart. He's the Assistant Security Manager at the Royalton in Trelawney. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday as well to Fabian Campbell in Falmouth, Anne-Marie Johnson in Falmouth as well. And Sergeant Wallace is saying now, happy retirement to Sergeant Trevor Eccleston there at the Falmouth Police Station. So happy retirement to you, Mr. Eccleston. Hope you'll have a great retirement. And this one was coming from Sergeant Wayne Wallace. And over on Facebook, happy birthday to Andre Whitelock, Tamik White, Valerie McBean, Ruby Bramwell, Tina Smith, Shari Avenel. Happy birthday. Happy birthday as well to someone who calls themselves D. Dottie on Facebook. Happy birthday, Salian King Foster, Chanel Hunter, Shelley-Ann Bedwood, Paul Dennis. Happy birthday, Paul. Big up yourself, Paul. I hear you are a Calabar old man, Jeremy says.
Old man.
Big up yourself from Jermaine and your family. Hope you'll have a great day. And a VIB, happy birthday to Shari Smith. Big up yourself, Shari. Hope you'll have an amazing one as well. And belated birthday greetings going out to this one says family friend Althea Simmons from Mineral Heights in Clarendon. And to son-in-law Paul Brooms in the Cayman Islands. Greetings coming from Etta and Peter Gay. And happy anniversary to Paul and Vanetta Brooms. The greetings also coming from Etta and Peter Gay. And Jermaine, did you see this song request? It says, please, it just says, please play something nice for them. So, yeah, so birthdays and anniversary, belated birthday to Althea Simmons and son-in-law Paul Brooms there in the Cayman Islands from Etta and Peter Gay. And happy anniversary to the Brooms as well. Paul and Vanetta Brooms celebrating their anniversary. This greeting also coming from Etta and Peter Gay. Any more birthdays? Going on over to the YouTube chat to see if there are any more birthdays.
There shall never be another birthday segment because all we are going to do is repeat this tomorrow. In case you never hear your birthday this morning, you hear it tomorrow.
I can't.
We don't care no more newscasts. We're going to repeat them because there are people out there who didn't hear.
This one is for the Brooms as well as...
This song also is for our friend in Clarendon, Ufel Purcell. Good morning, Ufel.
Good morning to you, Ufel.
Yeah, man.
Sinners can atone from a long prayer. Souls tied, intertwined by pride and guilt. There's darkness in the distance from the way that I've been living, but I know I can't resist it. Oh, I love it and I hate it at the same time. You and I drink the poison from the same vine. Oh, I love it and I hate it at the same time. Hiding all of our sins from the daylight, from the daylight, running from the daylight, from the daylight, running from the daylight.
Some final birthdays here. Vernon Ian sending happy birthday greetings to Sophia Marshall. And special belated birthday greetings to my friend Fayadeen Swaby. Hope you had a good one despite the circumstances. So belated birthday greetings to you, my friend Fayadeen Swaby here in our YouTube chat. Fayadeen and I, we speak all the time in the DMs on Instagram. Yeah. Those are all the birthdays. I think that's it.
Student for Life says, George, question. How on earth do you hold your composure when dealing with difficult callers? So you curse aloud in your mind while being aware you are visible on the platform? Exactly so, Student for Life. Exactly so. Exactly so.
And Shanna K. Alexander said, I listened to the program yesterday and Tawna read the clarification immediately. Yeah, man. And then after that, it was said a number of times again on the station. But yeah.
Again, good morning, Ufel Purcell. Good morning to you, wherever you are. Have a good day, my friend.
Mm-hmm. Is that it for the show? It is. Mm-hmm. Oh, here goes our final one. Delroy says, oh, so it's your birthday, Delroy. Delroy says today's Delroy TCI's birthday. Happy birthday to you, Delroy TCI. Have a good one.
Is that Turks and Caicos Islands? Have a happy one, Delroy. Visit the Pink Beaches. That's it? Pink Beaches there? Pink Sand Beaches? I think it's TCI.
Bahamas, no?
No, Bahamas have the pigs. Swimming with the pigs.
Oh.
Yeah, man. Big up yourself, Delroy.
Right. And Wayne Hale says, happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to you, Wayne. That's about it for the show. Thank you so much for tuning in to Nationwide This Morning, NTM. Thanks to our technical operator, musical maestro Jermaine King, to our producer, Michelle McCrae Smith, and our editor, Kimon Thompson. Up next, the Consumer Hour with Norgay Banton, and at 10, Cliff Hughes Online. I'm Tawna Thomas.
And I'm the man who don't call radio station and hide behind name and talk foolishness. So don't put in the real names on the come with so people can know who you are. Where you hide for? Anyway, morning, Ufel.
Good morning.
Blessings gonna find me here.
The Birthday Club was brought to you by Burger King, the best tasting burger under the sun.
Seasons I've been facing, but this year, your blessings I'm embracing. Hey, healing have come my way, blessings have come my way. Winning, we winning, and we here to stay. It's the blessings me say will find me here. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I miss the favor gonna
just heard Nationwide this morning on Nationwide 90 FM.
I miss the best, it's gonna find me here. Oh, yeah. Tell them me claim it. All of my blessings, my name it.
Fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.
The government